We are live here on WrestleTalk because WWE will very soon be going live on Netflix. It's the WWE Raw debut on Netflix, and we're here to give some on Netflix.
No, they should have said something about this.
They've kept it very quiet. They've been keeping it to themselves, but we've got the inside track around here. We will be, in fact, do you know what? I'm going to start going on to Netflix right now. I am Luke Owen, DAD. I'm joined by the Professor, the Truth, Dan Layton, here on the WrestleTalk show. Thank you very much. Press the subscribe button, gives a little thumbs up. Apologies if I was a little bit motor mouth there. I'm running on very little sleep.
Yeah, me too. I was up at 6 a.m. and I had like a half-hour nap. So.
Yeah, I did have a little bit of a sleep. My kid was unwell.
Yeah.
So she did not go to nursery today. So my day off became actually parenting.
Oh, that whole thing where you have to look after a child.
And I had to keep her entertained all day, so I watched a lot of Paw Patrol today. I watched a lot of Fancy Nancy Clancy and built some Lego. And I will say, I did have a bit of a snooze during one of the Paw Patrol episodes.
Was it one of those like dad snoozes where you're just sort of like...
Yeah, because she was sat on my lap.
Great. And
I could just sort of feel myself just going like,
oh, look at this.
So yeah, we've got the live event starts in 26 seconds, which means, everyone, we can do a countdown.
Hey!
If you want to join the conversation, but I'll do that again. Press subscribe, give us a little thumbs up, leave a comment down below if you're watching this on demand. If you're watching us live, join the wonderful live chat. Join our SWAF Nation and get your thoughts read out on the air by going to WrestleTalk.com/support. We'll read out all of your Ultra Chats before the end of this broadcast. But please do join our wonderful crew. Join our wonderful chat there. Everyone's getting very excited about the... Everyone's excited about this debut of Raw. I mean, I'm stoked.
I'm quite excited.
So excited.
There are many things that I'm like. It's like one of those. It's historic. It's an interesting moment in wrestling history. It's an interesting. They're loading it in a massive way. Like I was doing my little bit before. I'm training to be an actor. I don't know if you could see any of the growth in that performance, but like they've been trailing this for a long old time. They front load. We were talking about it on the way down. They front loaded the episode.
Oh yeah,
with about a bajillion different matches, people.
So we've got 4 matches announced for the show.
Yeah.
We've got CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, which I believe is the main event of the show.
That's about right to me.
We have Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa in tribal combat for the Ula Fala, which Paul Heyman will be
on a pole.
He will be giving the Ula Fala to the winner. That was announced on SmackDown this past Friday. We've also got Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan, last woman standing for the Women's Championship, and Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. So those are the 4 matches that we've got announced. I think there'll be some other matches along the way because, well, we've got the debut of Penta. So I'd imagine Penta will have a little small match within there. This would be like a little debut match type thing for the show.
Maybe a little LWO Rey Mysterio tag team against the New Day kind of thing.
There could be something along those lines. But we also know that John Cena is going to be on the show.
Yes,
The Rock is going to be on the show. Hulk Hogan is going to be on the show. So there's a lot going on for this episode. I would wager that we're going to get some other returns, surprisements along the way. According to Fightful Select as well, everyone from NXT is there. Not like they're going to debut the entire NXT roster all at once.
But it's nice for them to have a school trip, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, Alpha Academy on screen.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get a push in this new era of Raw. Although according to, I think it was... I'm going to credit it wrong. Apologies for getting this one wrong, but the report is, because this is the transfer window season as well, people being able to, everyone's going to be going between brands anyway, but the idea being that we're going to be finding out who the Raw and SmackDown rosters are over the next few months. Drew and Sammy are SmackDown bound, which I think it's quite cool as well, because that puts them both in the Kevin Owens realm.
Well, because my little, I've not been around these parts for a little while, so I don't know fully what everyone's been chatting about, but my little dream scenario was Kevin winning the title proper and it being a Kevin versus Sammy for the title, Triple H NXT.
I don't know where, because I know you weren't the only one who was on this train.
Yeah.
I do not know where you all got on board being like, oh, Kevin Owens is going to win the title at Saturday Night's main event. I was like, are you all high?
No, I didn't know that he'd win it, but I was curious as an idea if you wanted to do something you want to do something big, you could.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting, and I thought there was I didn't know that I believed he would, but I believed you could sit in that creative room and make a solid argument for it.
No, you could not. There was absolutely not a cat in hell's chance that Kevin Owens was going to win the title.
Did he walk out with the title around his shoulder? Yes, he did. So
there was just because Tempest and Sat both kept saying like, I think he's going to win the title. I was like, there is no way he's going to win that belt. There's no way he's going to win. Cody's the guy right now. Cody is like, you're about to go onto Netflix. Cody's going to be almost like front and center.
Yeah, I mean, he was on the BBC, wasn't he?
And he was on the BBC reading a lovely story.
Yeah,
I've never actually watched that show, but
I have. I watched that one.
I've been told that it's quite lovely.
Yeah, it's just celebrities read stories, and you can sit your kids in front of them, so you don't have to.
I've got Paw Patrol for that. Only Cody Rhodes reading me stories
about a giant whale.
I did actually watch the new Julia Donaldson thing over Christmas, Tiddler, which I fell asleep during as well. Oh, so did I actually. Yeah. Vengeance Most Foul, loved it.
Bang it. It was a great show.
So good.
And I watched Gavin and Stacey for the first time in my life.
Yeah, it was the second episode ever I've ever seen of Gavin and Stacey, and my feelings on it were the same as the first episode I saw, which it feels like a lot of the show is, bloody hell, he's great, isn't he, James Corden? He's really good, isn't he? Well, that's what I mean. Is like
they very much wrote the show around their characters, which I kind of, in a way, respect.
Every other character basically is just like has a scene where they're like, "God, James Corden's great.
Oh God, we love you, James.
We love James
Smithy.
we love Smithy. Isn't he lovely?" Anyway, we're here to do our live reactions for this show throughout the broadcast of Monday Night Raw, which means we're going to go over all of the excitement that's going to be going on. If this is your first time here, subscribe, leave a comment down below, check out today's WrestleTalk news, check out tomorrow's WrestleTalk news, which will have a review of it. We'll also be doing a review of this in podcast form in full tomorrow here on the main WrestleTalk channel, so make sure you stick around for that. I'll be going tomorrow at about 3 p.m. UK time. We're going to do a little countdown in a moment because we don't usually get to do sync ups. It's been a while since we've done this sort of live reaction style, but we will do a countdown so we can all try and get as synced up as possible. I'm just waiting for the 10-second marker. It's about to get into the 20 minutes left, and it is in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 20 minutes to go.
Last off. Now, this is an interesting thing. I've been thinking about this. I say interesting. I'm playing it fast and loose with the word interesting. I'm curious about the logistics of the broadcast on Netflix, because we've had, between Saturday Night's Main Event and then SmackDown both being on an unlisted YouTube link for us, which confused me greatly at the time.
Also, it made me look like a prize plum as well, because I was bragging on one of the shows that we did, being like, we're actually going to get the first Netflix broadcast because we're getting it SmackDown on the day before. I was so wrong. It aired on YouTube.
It did. It certainly did. Yeah, it was on YouTube, and I watched it. And there were some like whenever there was an ad break, it just went to sort of like, we'll be back in a bit, and played some really annoying techno music. And that was the same for Saturday Night's Main Event, which I also watched live. So I wonder if we're going to get that. I've read that they're going to be some ads in the American Netflix, but no ads internationally. I'm also curious about the download situation, because this is a rare situation for me. I normally will have been in bed about 3 hours ago. Being a very good boy, get up nice and early, do some stretches, do some vocal warm-ups, and then go and sing Wicked. I literally sang Wicked today. And so I'm curious as to whether or not I'm going to be able to download my episodes of Raw to watch on the go, because on TNT Sport, I don't know if this is the case with Peacock or anywhere else that you in America or internationally, on TNT Sports, now Discovery Plus, you couldn't download your episodes. Yeah. So on the tube, when I go underground, I couldn't. And also, it ate a lot of data. It does. That's the beauty of the Jubilee line. That's why you keep downplaying the Jubilee line. Jubilee line's trash. You would not have had that issue on the Jubilee line. I've been on the Jubilee line, but also I don't want to spend that much money on data. It eats a lot of data. So I'm curious as to whether or not I can download the episode and watch it on the go. See, I thought you were talking more about, because I don't know what the status was with the NFL games they did over Christmas. I didn't hear of any like technical issues with that, but obviously there was a lot of technical issues with the boxing fights that they had. Boxing fights that they had with the Tyson. First venture into professional wrestling. They just got the wrong Paul brother.
Yeah, but so like that had like major issues, but I don't think there were any issues from the NFL games, and if there were, like I didn't hear not hide nor hair of them. So I don't know. We'll get to see if there's anything like that on this episode. This is Netflix's first venture into live broadcast, like a weekly live show. They're going to be doing one.
They've had live. They had the awards shows last year, which I watched, and they went off pretty much without a hitch. And
did Love Is Blind,
exactly.
Right? Like
they've
a live
done
reunion.
Bits and bobs, and I don't know the specifics of what went wrong with the boxing thing. I just remember waking up and seeing there was a naughty word storm. I can't remember if it's like we're long enough into the broadcast, or it's too late. I can say the S word. They're going to slip out. I'll be honest.
They're going to slip out throughout the broadcast, I would imagine.
But I didn't know whether or not it was going to be one of those like. I don't know. We'll see. I think it'll be fine. I should think it'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't think there's actually going to be many major hiccups or anything like that. The advert thing I'm curious on as well, because we've been talking about it pretty much like since they made the announcement that they were going on to Netflix. Is like it's in Netflix here and in the US and in various other territories, but there are some territories where it's not on Netflix, so they're going to still be broadcast on TV. So they're going to still have to do the ad break stuff, but I guess they can always just cut, same way we used to have that here with Buffy. When that was first aired on here, it was edited because it was too violent, like 6:30, and then on a Friday night they would show the unedited version, sort of past the watershed.
Remember they would do that on SmackDown? They would cut to the crowd
and things like that. So I don't know, there's always range around that, but I would believe as well the Ring is going to be way more advertised. Like that's where a lot of the advertisements are going to be, because it's not just the Prime logo. They announced
that one's for WWE, not for Netflix.
Yeah, but they've announced today that they've got a partnership with Hulk Hogan's new beer.
Yeah. But I mean, WWE are going to make that advertising money rather than Netflix. Whereas, like, obviously in TV, the advertising money will go to the network. So
I see what you're
WWE
saying,
will make the real American money.
Yeah,
on the Riyadh season money.
Should also say as well, like, because I'm actually on like the cheapest tier of Netflix as well, so I
know there was tiers these days.
Like I get the ad breaks. Like I can't download certain things.
Well, we were having a conversation about the streaming.
I'm actually have to bump my thing up. I don't want to go through the.
Well, it seems to be allowing you, but like.
Well, no, I can watch it, but like, will I get more ads because I'm on the cheaper thing?
Who's to say? I could always put it on my phone and we can compare. I don't know what tier I'm on, but come back. We were talking about streaming services and stuff like that. I mean, this is really nerd shit. 15 minutes before a live broadcast, but like about like streaming and how companies make money, and like the reason that we're getting more and more adverts on streaming these days is because companies don't make money from their streaming platforms. I always love when it's like, hey, what if we like could bundle together like streaming services, and like you could pick your favorite, like, or they could be curated picks from each of the different streamers, and then you have that. Oh, so you mean like TV?
Yeah, cable.
Yeah. Or like, hey, what if you could listen to your favorite podcast but like live and like in a sequential order? I mean, like radio. Like they love doing this. So
that's been my joke for the last few years now, which is that the streaming bubble is going to burst, and then eventually one company's going to buy all of it, and we'll just get cable again.
And it'll be Disney Plus. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Disney feels like the most obvious one because they're the ones who've got the billions to spend, even though they don't make a lot of them. They've just got a lot of billions left over. If you do,
where this is, by the way, I can't find.
Oh, that's because I got it sent as a direct message. Mod Brother Jeddah, can you send it to Dan as well, please? It's all right, I've got it here because he's logged into me on Discord.
Gone
here
for a couple of months, and look what happens.
Yeah,
the disrespect.
There you go. There's your chat document.
Thank you.
But Flaming is going to kick us off here, calling me out.
Great.
Said, I need to call Luke out on something. You've said in the past that people are allowed to like what they want, but you also said that if you don't like the Young Bucks versus Lucha Brothers, you're an idiot. Kind of sounds hypocritical if you ask me. Flaming, I don't know how many more times we've got to go over this, but if I say something like you're an idiot if you don't like this match, I'm clearly joking.
Yeah, except when you like kick me under the table because I think Will Ospreay can't wrestle. Like, fine.
Well, that is a moronic take. You see, Flame, what I said there was something that's quite obviously a joke, and Dan laughed at it.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying it for comedic effect.
But of course, what I said was in no way a joke. Will Ospreay has never been able to wrestle and potentially never will.
If I'm going if I'm going to say something as outrageous as that as well, to be like, you're an idiot if you don't like this match, I'm clearly saying it for hyperbolic purposes.
There's a level of hyperbole and nuance and rhetoric.
Yeah.
I'm learning this week. I'm going to do a speech in my voice class from Michael Sheen
about
the NHS.
Oh.
So, got out my bag upstairs. I could have done a demonstration if I'd have remembered.
Well, you could have done some of your rehearsals. I could have read some lines with you.
Yeah, great. You could have done that.
Yeah, could have done some of that while we're waiting for the show to start.
Got a good 12 minutes. I could always go and, I'm sure that people would love to see it.
Dylan here says, thank you both for doing this. I've dearly missed the live reactions. Dan, hope is all well. Question, if you were Tony Khan, how soon would you realistically put the belt back on Omega? Sending so much love, thanks. I said this on the World's End review, but Kenny Omega came out and I cried.
And he looked great.
And my instinct was, let's just abandon all of these Death Rider plans that you've got and just put the belt right back on Kenny Omega because he should be your focal. And then we had that incredible match with Gabe Kidd at Wrestle Dynasty, which if you don't like, you're an idiot. An absolutely incredible match, and I really was like, oh yeah, we've been kind of saying this since day one of AEW, but you should really just be building this whole thing around Kenny Omega, and I would build this whole thing around Kenny again. Yeah,
I mean, it's not necessarily their fault that he got poorly. And
no, of course not.
I sort of probably won't hold that against them, but it is one of those things where. I think there are certain moments where I am like, get out of your own way, stop navel gazing, just press a little reset button.
Yeah,
and that reset button is in the shape of an Omega symbol.
I'd be quite tempted to push the button a little bit. I'm sure it would have been great to crown Darby as the AEW World Champion, but Kenny's back now.
There you go.
So sometimes plans have to change, brother. Yeah, if you want to keep getting your chats in, WrestleTalk.com/support. Also, I'm just going to echo what Dylan said there. We really missed doing live reactions as well. Obviously, we had a bit of a change-up of doing things because we started doing them from pubs, and we had a wonderful time doing that. And the shift from us doing them in pubs to doing them on the set was enormous. We found that our numbers massively increased because our live reactions became really, really awesome because we had the whole crowd dynamic and things like that, and it sort of became a bit of a not a trademark for us, but it certainly was. People were coming to see what the live reactions looked like for us, and we felt that we kind of wanted to level up what live reactions were on YouTube, not just no disrespect, two lads, just in front of some microphones with a nice backdrop. We wanted some people there and stuff. WWE saw otherwise, and shut all of our parties down. So we kind of then were like, well, maybe we don't do live reactions anymore. But we kind of want to still do them every now and again. We want to do them for this. We'll do them for the Rumble. We'll do them for WrestleMania. Particularly as well now because even if WWE hadn't shut down our live watch-alongs, we wouldn't be able to do them this year anyway because Netflix don't have public licenses.
Again, to be a nerd about it is something they're gonna. If they want to deal with live sports,
they
are going to have to get over themselves. It's not for negotiation. There's even an MP who is a wrestling fan in the UK, and he's been very sort of vocal about trying to get wrestling events here and trying to get WrestleMania here and trying to do, and he spoke out about it, this kind of thing, and he's like, community in sport is a very important thing. Netflix dipping their toe into something like this, Premier League rights. Actually, I think those are quite far away. I think they've just renegotiated a deal for that.
When they're on Amazon, they can't be shown in. Are they shown in pubs? Yeah. Oh, right. So Amazon do public well, it's not public licenses. It's
I don't know the specifics of the licensing deals, but I know for a fact that Amazon do show in pubs.
Great.
I walked past one on Boxing Day when they were on. But maybe that was naughty, but it was on several screens and quite noticeable, so I feel like they probably would allow it. But it is one of those things where if you want to get into more live sport, watching sport as a community, I think it's nuts that WWE don't allow it. I mean, then we also had a conversation upstairs about rampant capitalism, and that's probably the reason, to be honest with you. But there are certain things that are better for the communal experience, like watching sport together. Sorry you don't get all of our individual. You probably do anyway because we'll go back home and watch it as well. I didn't just watch Survivor Series one time because we were watching it together. I watched it about 26,000 times on the network. I was paying for the network anyway.
Yeah.
On that occasion, I just went out, and especially when you aren't buying the pay-per-views anymore, it's not like you're missing out on 100, 200 pay-per-view buys because everyone's at the pub watching it. You're not missing out on any money. So if anything, you should be encouraging that kind of event. And Netflix, if they want to get serious about sports, are going to have to suck it up.
I will say, in WWE's defense, they did want that communal aspect of it. They just wanted them to be
the only control of it.
They wanted to be the only people in town that were doing live reactions, which is why they were, they did successfully shut us down by kind of usurping our locations. But they tried to shut down Hooked On as well, because they just wanted to do live reactions from their own locations, but be the only people that were selling tickets for live reaction things. By the way, everyone, I'm going to peel the curtain back ever so slightly here, but all of those live from the UK reactions that you saw at WrestleMania, pre-taped.
Great.
Yeah. Taped before the show happened, and then sent across, and then they aired them when they needed them during the show.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Just television.
Fun fact. Not ours though. Ours were genuine. When I stood up because Jordan Grace was in the Royal Rumble.
Well, I don't know about that. Tempest has been pre-taped since 2026. So a joke right at the end. I'm tired.
So anyway, get your old chats in, because we have got a lot of things to cover throughout this evening. I'll do another countdown section for you in a moment where we can all sync up and get ready. I'm gonna be really curious as well, because we've got a lot of people watching this stream. Obviously as well, there's a little plea I like to put out. If you are watching this live reactions but you are not watching Raw, don't just make stuff up.
Do you remember in Harry Potter when the last book came out and people were queuing up outside over midnight, and they would be like, "He dies! Harry dies!" They'd be drunk people stumbling out of pub screaming at kids queuing up to watch Harry Potter. Don't be that person.
Yeah.
Obviously, spoilers for Harry Potter. We knew he wasn't going to die. You just looked weird. The little kids dressed as Hermione going Expelliarmus. That's a Russell Howard joke. I'll give credit to that.
I never read them. We'll be doing another sync point for you very shortly. Sorry?
Don't bother now. She's gone mental.
Thomas here said, I've been going through the WWE library now that it's on Netflix, and it surprises me that Over the Edge 99 is on there. It doesn't sit right with me that it was on the network, and I don't see why it was necessary to have it on Netflix. I'm actually, because I haven't checked, I've checked, a handful of things. Yeah. Ollie and I are going to be doing something looking through 2011. We're going to do a bit of a series here on WrestleTalk in the new year. So I wanted to see okay, none of the Raws are on here, but I can still get Money in the Bank 2011. I can still get some of these 2011 shows, but I didn't go through show by show to see what was on there. I am very surprised that Over the Edge 99 is on there.
When we were looking at what they were and were not going to have on the show, I don't know if you want to do a countdown because we're down to the last 5 minutes.
We'll do it. I get it close when it gets close to 4 minutes.
All right, fine. I was thinking about reasons that they might not want to transfer everything up to Netflix. And a big one of them was Benoit. You might not want to have Chris Benoit on your show, on your streaming platform. I think that's perfectly reasonable, personally. Whereas the WWE Network is sort of an archive of...
People got it, though.
Yeah.
I would say, wrestling fans understood.
That's what I mean. It's as an archive of the sport or of the entertainment medium. I kind of understood it, but Netflix, maybe I could have understood if they went in a different direction. So I was also surprised to see that something like that is on there, to see that all the Benoit things are on there. And in fact, there seems to be no logic to the Raw episodes that have appeared in the vault.
Well, yeah, all the Triple H era stuff is there.
Yes,
and then it's sort of 5 episodes from
2001.
Yeah, well, it's from the Attitude Era. So has everyone seen the cold open for this show yet?
No.
So they released the cold open a couple of hours ago.
Okay.
That opens up the show. It is awesome.
Okay, cool.
It is breathtakingly beautiful. It's so great. It's Triple H narrating essentially how wrestling got its starts.
Oh, a little history lesson.
And kind of a little history lesson, and then and then the invention of television, and then it goes through that, and now we're into this new age of streaming, but it all comes back to that central idea of the heel versus the face, and it's so wonderful. But I think it also tells you a really an interesting story of how WWE sees its own past, which is that there is Hulkamania, there's a little bit of New Gen, there's a lot of the Attitude Era, and there's a lot of what's happened recently. And there is sort of a 15-year gap John Cena's featured quite a bit, but it's only John Cena. There's like a big 15-year gap where it's just like, we're not highlighting any of the stuff that we did there. But there's loads of stuff from the Attitude Era, loads of stuff from what's happening recently, and quite a bit of stuff from like the Hulkamania era. So I think that's actually quite an interesting little insight into how WWE see their own past. Which I think makes sense, because if you are trying to appeal to those lapsed fans, you want to show them the stuff that they... when we always talk about the lapsed fans, we talk about those fans that switched off in 2001, 2002. So you kind of want to appeal to them. Oh, we've now cut to something on Raw. Here's Punk. I think this is all like pre-tape stuff.
Oh yeah, this is just a little package.
It's just a little video package and stuff.
Well, in this case,
I
to the loo now.
Yeah, you go to the loo now, because I'll do my countdown. We're going to count down to 2 minutes momentarily, folks, in 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The live event starts in 2 minutes' time. Ooh, guys, I'm so excited. So we've got it was Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, Rhea Bloody Ripley. Main events, Jey Uso will be wrestling on this show tonight, as will Rhea Ripley. Sami Zayn. If you don't know, actually, there's 4 matches announced for this show. It is Drew versus Jey. It is Rhea versus Liv. It is Punk versus Rollins and Roman versus Solo. The rumor and scuttlebutt is that Rollins versus Punk will be the main event of the show. Maybe that will tie into Ollie Davis's prediction of this is where we might get a little bit of a new faction form in this Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens verse. Sword, as he keeps referring to it as. So we've now got 1 minute to go, everyone. The countdown is on. We've got 1 minute left. If you want to get your odds chats in, it's WrestleTalk.com/support. We'll read out all of them before the end of the broadcast. 50 seconds, Dan.
Oh, I've got ages.
He's got ages. He didn't even put his shoes on to go outside.
Not outside, is it? It's just a corridor.
Whoa. Sweet child of mine.
Fine. You know what you do need here? Blankets. I've thought it for a while. I just haven't had the temerity to say it.
What?
I could wear an hoodie. I could do with an hoodie. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you be cold now, yeah?
No, I want to get cozy.
Oh, I see.
1 in the morning.
Do you know what's funny, actually? So I didn't mention this earlier, but this is the first episode of Raw I've watched live since you and I did the Raw After Mania live reactions.
A couple of years ago.
It was a couple of years ago after the Cody return.
I did the live Punk one. Oh, hello. We're getting to 10 seconds.
Getting to 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you ready, folks? Here we go.
In theory. Oh, no,
the live event is about to start. The countdown has finished. The live event is about to start. As someone who regularly does YouTube live shows,
just somewhere going like, I can't get my stream deck to work.
I've brought the wrong stream key in. Like as someone who regularly does live streams on YouTube, I have got a lot of time for. Oh, here we go. Ba-boom, ba-boom.
Okay,
there we go. I'm going to have to go around to turn the volume up for you.
Please.
Someone's lost the remote, so I've got to do it on the side of the telly now.
I bet it was Sam. This is so old school. Look at you. You might as well have a dial. 21, lucky number. Good.
Well, you know, with everyone going into streaming these days, I try to keep it real. Dun, dun, dun.
So it is.
Here we go.
We're in Los Angeles, the Intuit Dome. It's not a cold open then, is it? Like, this is very much the open.
This is the open. Maybe we're not going to get that cold open then. There's all the press interviewing people.
It's been really cool to see all of the promo stuff just around and about. Like that big, them bursting out of the N. Mm-hmm. I saw it when I was walking down to a bus around the corner from my flat on a TV, and I was like, oh, sick. Like,
here's goes Punk.
It's my little match tonight.
They've also, I did see, they've done moving graphics.
I saw those. Yes.
Here come the Judgment Day. Boo!
God, it's just like
break up already.
It's just like old times, isn't it?
Yeah, we're still talking about them breaking up. Here's your next Women's World Champion.
Yeeted to Jay.
Little yeet to Jay there.
Oh, also, this is one of those stadiums with the LED lights sort of plonked. Remember the Olympics? They did this in 2012. Yeah, everybody was in London.
No.
Well, either way, it's cool. It adds a cool effect.
I like it. It's cool.
Oh, look, Rory's War. Okay, here we go. You're probably going to take us into this little holiday for now. Or this little intro package.
Now we go to the intro package.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. This is what they were showing earlier.
Oh, they're going to do a big ring reveal. Oh, this is camp. So they're projecting it on this giant...
onto this giant...
which appears to be surrounding the ring, which would suggest...
they're going to do a big ring reveal.
It's going to do a drop.
Yeah.
And then, like, Triple H is going to be standing there in a fierce outfit.
Was started as a whisper.
Are you ready? God, he's such a stan, isn't he?
He likes his wrestling history.
He really likes wrestling.
Student of the game. Yeah, Bret Hart and The Simpsons.
Is that Gorgeous George was there as well?
It's a bit harsh there on Ric Flair.
Stephanie!
Yeah, Stephanie. Oh, yeah, she might be on the show tonight.
China.
That's the guy right there.
Just been watching the start of the invasion, and I gotta say, Austin as a heel was kind of entertaining.
It was. You know what?
He's really good at it.
I know he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty good.
This is sick.
Yeah.
This is great. Lita! This is cool.
It's so good.
Great.
It's beautiful. What a wonderful, wonderful video. And now we're going to get the...
Just let them drop. It's so sick when these fabrics drop. Just do it. Do it for me. Go on.
Whoa!
Yeah!
Hey! Yes, you called it! That's absolutely, of course it is.
Oh, trips. No, I could rely on you.
We, at our prediction show, so what's your big prediction? I said, who's going to open the show? I said, Triple H.
Obviously it's Triple H.
Obviously it's Triple H.
Look, you don't go through 20 years of being married into the McMahon family and not take this moment to yourself.
And then, I'm the reason we're here.
Yeah.
I'm the reason the product's good now.
Oh, this is sick.
It's so good, though.
This is so camp. It feels like a huge.
Which it should do.
This is Beyonce at the halftime show. I think one of the reasons I've always like felt, I like Triple H. I'm a fan of Triple H. Is that I feel seen when he wears those bracelets that I bought in H&M in 2006. Ooh, new mic.
Oh yeah, that's round.
So
I like, but that's new. It used to be the box. I know because I got the toys and stuff of it.
It's a box and then it became a triangle and now it's a circle.
Now it's a circle. Oh, Squid Games.
Yes.
Yes, we are. Very much so.
Thought it was the Paul Levesque era.
Big pyro. That was very lovely.
Yeah, it was cool.
I should say as well, like if you go watch that video, if you haven't seen it,
I would like to watch that again.
It's so great.
So they could make a killing if they sold that artwork.
God,
what a crowd! What a cool looking like venue.
It is a really cool looking venue, yeah. Oh yeah, Pat's back. I just had him go, wow. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's
Classic
Pat. Classic Pat. Doesn't know what to say, so just has to fill the air somehow.
Okay, so who's first?
Whoa, that's bright.
Some dead pixels. That's a shame.
Yeah. Oh, The Rock's going to open. The Rock's going to open the actual wrestling. Well, not wrestling, but he's going to come out for a promo by the looks of things. The final boss.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. They also kind of gave it like a sort of electric overload kind of situation. He's got his silly little belt.
It's a real belt to him.
It's still real to him. Damn it.
He's going to come out into about. Did you see his comments about Red One and what a success that it was?
What? It's nonsense.
Yeah, he said that it was. He called it a small Christmas movie, $250 million budget.
Yeah.
And he also said that it was Goosebumps. He said that it was a success because it had multiple verticals.
I mean, of course he's got goosebumps. It's January. He's wearing no sleeves.
I know. Can't stop thinking about multiple verticals. Also, I should say, love this stage. Small ramp, tiny thing, fans over it, over the tunnel. It's so cool. It's such a striking visual.
I saw someone put like, I saw like some weird pictures of the stage, like from I assume some form of documentary. It was on Reddit, and I was like, and there was someone commenting me like, oh, they insist on putting people behind the stage, and I was like, yeah. They just packed in an extra 3,000 people.
Absolutely.
And it looks sick.
Like, because they can do at the moment.
Sorry you've not got a Titantron anymore.
Yeah, but like, they can do at the moment. They can, at this point in time, sell out buildings and pack these buildings out to the point where they can just ditch the massive screen.
It's a Richard T. Grant look like it's not, but I think it's Ari Emanuel, is that? I don't know.
I wonder what sort of Rock do you think we're going to get? Because obviously you got to be, is he going to be? It's a historic episode, so you're going to have that level of Rock, but also you're going to get proper final boss, calling out Cody's mum and all this sort of stuff.
Well, the last time we saw him, it was
Bad Blood.
Yeah, and he sort of did that post-game promo thing on Instagram where he was giving it full final boss. And he's got his little belt here. He's doing the sort of shaking hands with people thing.
Yep.
He maybe said a bad word. Oh yeah, this was on how he announced he was going to be on Raw. He was talking about this High Chief title that he was given in like the early 2000s, I think it was, wasn't it? Which I thought was kind of interesting, this idea of like when we've got a tribal chief match to spoil a appearance, suggested it wasn't going to be anywhere related to that. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So, as it currently stands, you know, in the reports of what is The Rock going to do at WrestleMania, because, and this is also what I'd heard as well. It is a case of they have two plans in place. One if The Rock is going to be there, and one if The Rock is not going to be there, because they still don't really know if The Rock is going to be at WrestleMania. So there was plans to do Cody versus Rock, but now they may pivot to Cody versus Cena.
Yeah, that's another reason I'm like take title off him. That match doesn't need that. Do you know? I always
Cody versus
top
Cena?
guy should be the champion.
Cody versus Cena, I think, needs the title because it's Cena going for the record-breaking win
against the newer version of But I see that as like
the better version of him.
The end of his year. I see more than what would be the beginning of his year kind of thing. Because, of
course, the other pitch for Cena, of course, sorry to cut you off there, is him versus Logan Paul. Because that's the big celebrity match, which makes sense. A little bit of stubble on The Rock there. Could have shaved, mate. It's a big deal.
Well, sometimes
it's a big show.
Sometimes you shave and you regret it, like I did when I had my hair shots done the other day.
Yeah, little people's eyebrow.
God, he looks like a dad.
He's got a little... It's a Moana thing.
Pass. I haven't seen it.
I've seen it a lot. I have a 3-year-old. There you go. A bit of humble rock to kick us off. Lost the sneeze.
Devastating.
That's usually a Triple H announcement. Largest gate in the history WWE.
They've played The Rock, Paper, Scissors.
Nice.
And he always wins.
I found it. Swore.
It's because he's right. Like, I don't care about this corporate stuff. Give me some entertainment.
I mean, it is true. We have had like 15 minutes of being like, we're on Netflix now.
That package was. I know you're on Netflix. I've got Netflix. I'm watching you on Netflix. Let's move on. Like. Oh, fuck. 17,000 people have provided WWE the largest gate in history for what is essentially
a corporate
mixer. Like,
the people from Netflix are here today. Here they are, the Netflix people.
Cares.
Is this a new faction that's debuting?
WCW wrestling. It's Ari Emanuel.
Thanking Cody Rhodes. Just thanking him. He's done an amazing job carrying this company. Oh, no, there he is! Wild Cody appears. All that.
I thought he was going to say Triple H.
All that stuff in the WrestleMania. All forgiven, I guess.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
I feel like maybe they're just backing away from it. This is what this is giving me.
There it is. The Mama Rhodes. It's all jokes for Cody Rhodes. He's acknowledging Roman Reigns.
This feels weird.
So the kayfabe is dead.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like,
it's like, is this weird for anyone else?
This is weird for me. Thank you. Who said that? Thank you very much. Yes, this is weird for me because it's like this is not furthering any story. This is not even keeping the potential dangling story alive or pivoting. This is just saying no.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Is there a swerve? Is there a swerve here? Is this all a swerve?
Why is Cody just out there in the crowd like a chump? Do you know?
Well, he was going to give up his WrestleMania spot. Oh, no.
Even if he said, like, what the final boss is cooking and...
Yeah, are we dropping the final boss stuff? Because that didn't feel like the final boss. That felt like Dwayne Johnson.
I guess your casual fan is... no idea about any of that stuff. Like
a casual fan's going to show up and be like, "Oh man, I'm really glad that they showed the Netflix people."
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Guess they're. So the bad blood thing was. I mean, they said that the report from 547 was the bad blood thing wasn't actually there to set up anything. It was just because The Rock was, said, "Oh, I can be there."
Okay.
Okay, that was quite the opening. Evan Reich here said, "Never got a chance to catch you guys live. Not Raw related, but Tempest not including AEW showing the Punk fight in his worst moments of 2024 can only mean one thing. He's trying to Will Washington himself into AEW creative. Cheers, mates. Keep up the great work." And here we're going to go. Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns. I also thought it was weird that Tempest didn't have that on his list.
Tempest is so conflict avoidant.
Revolver here said, "Good evening, everyone. First live Raw for me in 5 years. Excited for the show. I'll watch on catch up later." Excuse me. Random question, but where do you think Cena's last match should be? Selfishly, I want to say Chicago, but why not? He made his debut here long ago. Oh,
yeah, it's an interesting
Boston?
One. Yeah, but I mean West Newbury if they do one in a little village hall somewhere.
I don't know. I haven't really thought about that, but I mean, I would have thought wherever the last WWE show is will be where his final match is.
You could make an argument
for the year, I should say.
For a Saturday night's main event in the Garden.
That's a great shout, yeah. That's a really good shout.
Yeah.
Vix Tempest said, "It's done! So glad you're back tonight. Hope everything is well for you lately. Also, do you have any wild predictions for tonight?"
Yeah, I have a wild prediction that The Rock is going to come out and just piss on the years, like the best creative they've had in a really long time. Yeah, I didn't expect that. I don't. Anyone's guess. I would like Becky Lynch to come back tonight.
So my wild prediction I had on the prediction show that we did was Rhea wins the belt, and then Becky Lynch comes out, then Charlotte Flair's music hits and she comes out, and then AJ Lee's music hits, and she comes
cute.
out. And that basically is there to announce that Becky, Charlotte, and AJ are in the Rumble.
Yeah.
And, teasing multiple different WrestleMania options for Rhea Ripley. That's my wild prediction. I don't think AJ Lee is going to be on this show. But
no.
If I can give some wild predictions.
If we're going to throw out... if we're going to take the word wild to mean something...
And LJ Mickey here said, hey guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for this Raw episode and what might be the biggest changes to the WWE product on Netflix? For example, more blood, production values, etc. Well, production values, I don't think I've got quite a good eye for this sort of thing. I can't tell if this is better quality than it was on when it was on telly or whatnot.
Well, a production value for me is not necessarily the aspect ratio or the
camera quality
or whatever. It's more to do with the
stage.
staging, the way it's showcased. I mean, for my money, the production values of this show have been leaps and bounds above average Raw.
Yeah.
And I thought average Raw lately has been leaps and bounds above what it used to be. Remember the big sort of, snake pit, what's it called? Skate park, slide stage, or whatever.
Look at those high tops.
Are those his special high tops?
It's another prediction I got right for the show. I'm just going to mark that down for me. I said that if Punk and Rollins will main event, that this will be the opener. But I also did say, I do hedge my bets a lot. I thought they would open with Rhea and Liv.
If you're not on first, you're on last. I feel like this. If
that's usually the Roman mentality.
This wouldn't have gone on in the middle of the show. I think. I mean, this is the thing. I've been very excited for this show in the same way that I'm excited for a sort of pay-per-view because it just feels like an unknown quantity and it's being presented as such.
Yeah.
That first 20 minutes or so has sort of made me go, ah!
Well, it's all right. We're about to get into the wrestling portion of the show.
We're going to pick it back up.
We're going to pick things back up. But that Rock, I didn't love that.
Unless you're going to use... And I hope that they would, because the only person who sees through all of the stuff is Kevin Owens. They're going to use that in the Kevin Owens-Cody Rhodes feud. Like, you just shook hands with The Rock, who threatened your mother.
Yeah. You're now treating the mother thing like a joke.
Yeah.
Do you have any predictions for this match? I'm pretty confident that Roman wins here, and this ends the Roman bloodline feud as it currently stands, so Roman can then go off into whatever his WrestleMania direction is, which I've thinking in my pit of my stomach thinks it is going to be Punk.
I mean, if Punk's not going to go for a world title at WrestleMania,
well, unless he's going in as world champion.
Okay, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, I think. I see Roman winning this. I feel like it's a nice opportunity to sew things up. Personally.
Mod Mother, can we have a poll up, please? Let's have a little, let's test the audience. Who do you think is going to win, Roman or Solo?
Production values, we've got a little drone shot here.
Ooh.
That they did the same thing as they did at a...
Backlash?
Yeah, where they cut it too early for it to be sick.
Ooh, the new ref shirts as well.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed on SmackDown the other day they've got like the blue mat. So a lot of things are changing. The mat here is black with
the sponsors.
The sponsors on it.
Yeah. Fortnite.
Which just after years and years of watching, it was NXT with the black mat, wasn't it? So.
Oh, did you see the report as well that SmackDown's not staying 3 hours?
No, in the summer it'll go down to 2.
Yeah.
Thank God. There's only so many hours in the day. Although by that point I'll be wrapping up my degree, so I'll be like an unemployed actor. I'll need shit to watch.
I have a lot of time on your hands.
And I will say there's something about all the logos on the ring that I don't know if it's because of semiotics, but that I associate with like big time boxing fights.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's never been something that's bothered me. Even when we were talking about the Prime thing, the Prime logo that bothered me was the idea of them having the colourful one. When it was just the letters, I was like fine with it.
Yeah, well, I think it didn't bother me that there was a sponsor on the mat. I mean, like the whole Vince thing was like the mat is sacred. Like you shouldn't do any sponsorships on the mat. He always pushed against it. It just that it looked like clip art.
Yeah,
like it looked quite like a. I guess it's because the Prime logo is a basic logo.
Yeah, but once they took away the color grading of it, and it was just a sort of black and white logo,
you stop noticing.
Far more and you do stop noticing it.
Yeah, like by the time this goes on, you won't notice the Snickers. I like the referee's in all black though.
Yeah, lovely polo shirt.
That's a pop. Do you think that Heyman turns, sides with Solo?
I think if Heyman turns, Solo wins. So if I think Roman wins, no, Heyman doesn't turn.
Yeah.
Personally. I think it would be a shame for them to go in that direction.
Badger here says, I got back into wrestling because of that story. Loved it, always a Triple H fan. But the section we just witnessed by The Rock was total madness. I'm so confused. First time messaging you guys. Over the last year, you've made wrestling better. Love you all. Well, love to you as well.
Yeah, I think there's something about it which is wondering whether or not that's Triple H going like, thank you. You've got your thing. You've got some PR. And now you go back to your verticals.
Well, yeah, maybe he's just not doing WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, that is what that says to me.
Yeah.
That says to me they're not even keeping a morsel open, and it's just a way of going like, right.
He's not doing Mania, so...
Stop speculating.
Yeah. Unless, of course, it is just one big swerve, and that was a weird segment by design to throw you off the scent. They're going to do a big angle.
I guess you can't write that out of the question.
Of course not. It's The Rock.
And it's
like if The Rock all of a sudden turns around like in 2 weeks' time and says, "Oh no, I am going to do WrestleMania," then they'll write a big angle for it.
Nope.
Up next. So, what do we got to next, guys? Oh, we're getting a video for the Ulafala. Is everyone getting this?
It's a good question for the Americans.
Yeah, a question for our live chat. Is everyone getting this?
Because like, there was a thing on.
Oh, they've got commercials.
Well, so this is essentially what would happen during PLEs for us. We would get a random
video package.
Yeah, and I remember once it was a video package for Ronda Rousey, and I got really confused because like, is she coming back? And it was just they just played something on the network.
It was always Liv Morgan.
Right.
It was always videos for Liv Morgan. Yeah. So a lot of people like the video package. In America, they are getting commercials. Some people are pretty annoyed by the sound of it because they pay for the no ads version of Netflix.
That's streaming.
Yeah, it's streaming for you. I think for us Brits as well, I mean, for me anyway, I would say, I've always found sort of American TV quite perplexing in that, because I didn't have Sky growing up.
Right.
So the idea of paying for TV and then still having adverts seemed like quite an alien concept to me, because it made sense to me. I had 5 channels, and they were all free.
Yeah.
And 2 of them didn't have adverts on it.
Because they were publicly funded.
Funded, but the other 3 did have adverts on them because they were commercially funded. So that made sense to me. And it didn't matter that there were commercials on these ones because I wasn't paying for them. Apart from the TV license, but,
I did have Sky now and then, so I've just grown up with the ads. But even so, when I went to New York for the first time and watched an episode of Friends, I was so excited to be watching Friends on American TV, and I found it fascinating because in the UK we had one advert in the middle of Friends.
Yeah.
And a very natural pause in the episode. In America, it was opening, title sequence, adverts, first act, adverts, second act, adverts, post-credits joke, adverts again. And I just was like, whoa! Yeah. That was like a lot for me to sort of get my head around. It felt like it disrupted the whole flow of things, but that's when I started to understand why and how American TV works. It is so ad-heavy that like I think that's why there's a gulf often in comments or like in people in the live chat between how we respond to adverts and how Americans respond to adverts, because they're bombarded with them everywhere. And as such, kind of in a similar way to your experience of what is normal and what isn't normal with watching telly, that's their experience of what is normal versus what our experience is. So it's a very different thing. But when you've paid for a subscription service and for years and years and years you've had no ads on it, and then you start getting ads on it, even if you pay for it's annoying. And I've seen people and whatever comment on these, send tweets and all the rest of it, and have the people respond being like, it's so that we can afford to do this and that and the other. And I'm like, it seems like a mess with your model, TBH. Bring back physical media.
Now we're back now live. Welcome. If you are just joining us, please do press the subscribe button, give us a little thumbs up. You can get your comments read out on the air. WrestleTalk.com/support. We'll get to 10 ruzzers after this match. Or in our next ad break, perhaps.
I'll be interested to see if they do an ad break in the middle of this match, because I feel like it's going to go a little while. It's Roman Reigns. Yeah. Oh, those are some good boots.
They're cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a trainer guy. Sneakers. But I do like a high top. Like, I exclusively wear high tops, really. Since I was a teenager.
I mean, they've got more in common with wrestling boots.
Super high tops. This test of who's got it here.
I mean, this is the pictures of the wrestling they were showing at the very beginning.
Yeah, it's very true.
The old school.
Yeah.
The Greek pottery wrestling.
There you go. Solo toss to the outside. This is as well tribal combat as well, so expect some shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean,
along the way.
So there's a difference though between tribal combat, and bloodline rules. Bloodline rules is anyone can pop up at any moment. Tribal combat is standard no DQ, and maybe Jimmy will screw you over at the end.
Yeah. If I may, just because I know that you will pop, and about 3 other people in the chat, but Melanie Comblat.
It's weak. And I'm ashamed to have laughed.
This is why I've missed you here, Dan. You're the only person. Actually, Ollie I could have done that with as well, but really, you're the only person who would have appreciated that.
Yeah. Joke. But for very different reasons to Ollie, I feel like.
We have the results of our predictions, by the way. Okay. So we got to the live chat. The live chat, 82% have gone for Roman to win this match. Heavy favourites go by our live chat.
I mean, the question is, what do you do with it next?
The Ulafala?
With the bloodlines.
Oh, I see.
It makes sense for the original bloodline to sort of go back to where they were before getting the band back together. Not unlike Robbie Williams going back to his career after leaving Take That. But where does that leave Solo, Tama, Jacob?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Roman's next match is with Jacob. There feels like money in that.
Yeah, so I mean, one of the things that I had heard is that that's the match that Roman is... That's one of the things that he wants to do. Like, after he took his time off last year after WrestleMania, he said, when I come back, I want to make Jacob a big deal.
Well, I mean, that's kind of interesting to me because... Kind of interesting to me because one of the things that has been spoken about, and I kind of agree with, is this idea that if you're Triple H and you're looking at WrestleMania and you're looking at the wealth of stars that you suddenly have at your disposal, male and female, and you want to keep them all happy, if one of your top stars is saying, I don't necessarily want to go for a main title, but I do want to have a match with this person, and that doesn't need to be a main event, great. I'll take it. Thanks, Roman.
Yeah, it's Triple H and the rest of the WWE creative team are in this. Well, spinning Solo, the Uranagi there, onto the announce table.
The table is a bit different.
It's a new table, everyone.
It's got colourful light up bits on the corners that they can turn blue when it's SmackDown.
It's a new table, people. Does it break, though, is the question. Looks fairly solid.
That looks like a sturdy table.
Yeah. Maybe the days of...
That monitor does not look as powerful as the 90s monitors. I'm sorry.
Massive ones. But point I was making was that it's the great position to be in is that you have too many stars.
Yes, yeah.
Like it is a good problem to have. I've created too many top level names, which means that not everyone gets a top level.
Yeah.
But feels like they should have had a top level.
And I've been on a sort of rabbit hole down the history of Punk and Rollins and Punk's return and all the rest of it. And I was watching a Becky interview on, I think it was Ariel Helwani, where she mentioned that, you know, Seth didn't know that Punk was coming back and he felt disrespected. But her point was like, we weren't being disrespected.
Yeah.
We felt like we might be being disrespected. That doesn't make it true, kind of thing, which I thought was a really interesting answer from her. But the idea of like, you're going to want to be...
Back to going to ad break. Okay, so what are we going to get to now? Because we didn't have an ad break previously. We are fading to black.
Picture in picture.
We're getting picture in picture, everyone. So you're... Okay, just checking the chat. They are going to ads. We've got picture in picture here.
We've got the match. So we can't see any ads. We just got the
this is the show. This is like watching Dynamite on Fight, yeah.
But yeah, I was going to say, like, it's one of those things of like, okay, so you're not all going to get to be in the main event. You're going to have to suck it up. Some of them are going to take that badly, but others are going to get it.
Mm.
And I think it's very different to when it was like, well, Punk is one of the main events.
Yeah.
In this case, it's like, bro, I mean, it's one of the main events. Like,
yeah. This could be a good sign for you to VPN, everyone. Just gonna. I mean, the reason I say that as well is I've been using my Surfshark VPN a lot as of late.
Yeah.
So I'm a big Twilight Zone guy.
Okay, I really wasn't sure whether or not the word zone was going to come out after that, and then I was really excited to have that conversation.
I'm a big Twilight Zone guy, and every year the Sci-Fi Channel in America does the Twilight Zone marathon, where they just show like 24, 48 hours, just nothing but Twilight Zone episodes. It's a yearly tradition. They've been doing it for decades now. And everybody gets to take part in it because we don't get the Twilight Zone here because of like various licensing things. The original Serling 50s, 60s Twilight Zone does not get shown in the UK, really. It's never available on streaming services or anything like that. You can just buy I've got it through physical media. Like I bought the DVDs back in the mid-2000s, so like I've got those copies, right? But in the US, on Pluto TV, there is a Twilight Zone channel. So it's one of those ones where all it does for 24 hours a day is just show Twilight Zone episodes, and it basically just starts from season 1 and it just runs the way through to season 5 and then starts again from season 1, just keeps going.
Yeah.
But it's not on the UK version of Pluto TV. But if I use my Surfshark VPN, send myself to America, refresh, I can then access the Twilight Zone channel. So that is currently what I've been doing a lot in my new year. Is if I'm working, I just put my iPad on and I just have the Twilight Zone on in the background.
Because I'm so curious about the VPN game, because I've used it in the past for like watching The Traitors when I was in Ireland last year because I couldn't get iPlayer. And then also when I went to Vegas to watch Drag Race because I couldn't get it I could get it in UK cable, so it was like one of those things. So like, I'm curious. I don't know how maybe it would be coming back to TV.
Yep.
I'm curious what, like, can I get, because the WWE network is still available in France.
Oh right, yeah.
And my account technically has been disabled, but can I
set up a new one?
But then do I have to do that with it? Because another time when I was in Boston, I tried to watch the Premier League and I tried to set up a Peacock account, but I needed a US credit card. So I don't know whether or not I'm allowed. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how it works.
I had that there was a channel I tried to do recently, and I had to put in an American postcode on my. I think it was like on my credit cards. It would only accept if I could put in. I couldn't put in my UK postcode. It would only put in like a zip code.
I usually put 902 when I can dream.
Steel Chair now by Solo Sikoa. I will say from a production standpoint as well, we'll track this. I'll keep an ear out for this next time. But it felt like when they came back from the picture-in-picture, they'd upped the crowd noise.
Interesting.
So the crowd sounded louder, and it wasn't like all of a sudden someone said, "Hey crowd, pop," because it literally was like it dipped down, it dipped back up again. It just felt like they turned the crowd down a little bit during the commercial, turn it back up again. I'm not saying they're piping in noise, because they mic the audience. This LED thing is very cool, by the way.
Like it. No, it's interesting stuff like that with the sort of crowd volume, because I thought on SmackDown on YouTube the crowd seemed really quiet, but there were all people who were there being like, "We were so hot," and even if you watch videos of like the speed tapings beforehand, the crowd were demonstrably, and it's like they're fan camera, like it's not, you know. So I think sometimes the volume they do get it a bit. I think they're figuring that out.
So now, putting the chair around Roman's neck. Maybe we're going to go for a little butt attack in the corner.
Pleasant.
And we're going to go for the butt attack. Roman ducks out of the way.
Gets the chair off from around his neck.
Ooh, a little bit of blood there on Roman's head. A little bit of hard way blood.
Oh, well, he did clatter into that ring post a minute ago.
Chair to the gut. And the chair to the back. Waffling him with that chair. Did you say it's only the second one? And we had
no, so we had it was Jay and Roman was tribal combat. Then we had Bloodline Rules with
that was Bloodline Rules
with
Cody and Roman.
I think there was one other Bloodline Rules match.
Is that the Cody? Because I was thinking of the Cody solo match. Is that Bloodline Rules?
That was Bloodline Rules.
Right. Okay.
That's why it had shenanigans. It had people running in and out of the ring.
Yeah.
So,
but tribal combat is
Jimmy interferes. Bloodline Rules is anyone interferes.
You can only interfere if you're wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, exactly that. And if you're from the Anoa'i family.
Missed the concerto. Hurts his hands. Very much enjoyed Roman there being like, yeah, you'll get your tables, just not quite yet.
Little low blow.
And now, spinning solo onto the chairs, no less. 1, 2. Rollins kicks out.
That looked great.
Yeah, really good.
I think Solo has really settled into the role.
Yeah, I think it took them a little while.
Droid.
Because they were trying to sort of make him a cool guy. But he was better when he just became like, I got tickets!
Yeah. Another thing with the advertising thing, it's like in sports in general, like with football, I'm used to seeing ads everywhere.
Yeah. And Solo is going to get the table, but
no, he's going to commit.
I thought he might do the heel thing of like, no,
away.
You want this, I'm going to get it away, so the babyface can then get it out.
He's going to do it, but not fun.
Yeah. How did Solo not see that coming? He looked into the ring and saw he wasn't there. No, he's not there.
Peripheral vision.
I'm sure that's fine. Reigns holding onto his nards a little bit there. It's good stuff.
It does hurt.
It does hurt, mate. A friend of mine once kicked me in the nards so hard that it bruised them.
We should know less about each other.
It was a good Saturday night.
Was it? Doesn't sound like a good Saturday night.
I'll be honest. I'll tell you what it sounds like. It sounds like the Saturday nights that me and my mates had when we were teenagers.
Yeah, and I feel like the Saturday nights you had as a teenager and the Saturday nights I had as a teenager studying the ad breaks in Friends were very different. Me and my wicked soundtrack.
Me and my mates being like, yeah, should we just drive down to the Sainsbury's and
kick each other in the balls?
Kick each other in the nards a bit.
Oh, it's a kendo stick! Roman has set up a table in the ring, goes to bring Solo back in, but Solo has whipped out a kendo stick and has thwacked it off the head of the OTC.
You mean you never hit your friends with light tubes?
I certainly did not.
Yeah.
Bold of you to assume I have friends. You know when you play 2K24 and you go under the ring and you have a small selection of...
Yeah.
I just wish there were a few other things down there. Bring back a stop sign. Do you know?
Or like a No Mercy, we can get The Rock's book. It's a massive copy of The Rock's book.
That's really funny.
It's a great game.
Just like a few other things. Even a trash can would please me.
It's the acting portion of a Roman Reigns match.
Now, what actions is he choosing?
Oh no, Roman's powering up. Powering! And then with the powerbomb through the table. Crowd are on their feet. Bosh! Here we go. 1, 2. Oh no. It's Tamatonga.
Now that is against the rules of tribal combat. That is not Jimmy Uso.
He's not wearing a hoodie.
Yeah. I mean, he is wearing all black and red shoes, though. So in fairness, I think that's one of the bylaws.
Yeah. Shout out to Haku on commentary.
I wish they'd make more of that.
Using his WWE name, of course, not calling him Meng.
Because why would you call him Meng?
Because he's Meng. It's Jacob! Jacob.
Great instincts from Jacob. Sorry.
He's awesome.
Jacob
Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at him.
So there's a lot of things that make Jacob Fatu very good.
Yeah.
One of them one of them is his instinct and his ability to roll with it. Just now, he wanted to go for a super kick and he tripped on part of the table. Mm-hmm. And instead of I'm ruining it, he just slapped Roman in the face and then went back for another
best moonsault ever.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Look at him. He's just the best. Jacob rules. And now we go. Bit of a spike, perhaps. The Samoan spike. Solo's got the win here, surely. 1, 2. Rones kicks out. Also, shout out to Jacob Fatu, who was the heel interference there, and he stood and he watched the pin. He didn't look around and turn around. No, he's like, and make sure this pin happens.
It's the little details. It's the little details that make you a star.
Uh-oh. Back down, ref.
Cut to the silly ref cam.
Back down, referee. No, we need that ref. Uh-oh. Samoan spike to the ref! Oh, Chad.
Now that's... where's the ref cam of that moment?
Yeah.
Sammy Uso!
Here comes Sammy Uso.
And Sammy at least was polite enough to announce his entrance with his music.
What a babyface.
Yeah.
And Jimmy's there as well.
Jay obviously busy tonight with Drew McIntyre, so probably doing some yogic stretches. Ooh, that didn't look nice.
Oh yeah, there's no Tonga lower. This one. Super kick. And now a haluva kick by Sammy. And it sets Roman up.
But there's no referee.
But there's no referee. Here comes another ref. 1, 2. And a kick out by Solo. I actually thought I missed that kick out for a second. Then.
Yeah, it was a close one. And the crowd were nice and loud with the 3.
I don't think you need to ask yourself too much, Roman, what you need to put away. You had him pinned after the spear. Just the referee wasn't there. Referee's there now. Oh! Big dives!
And now
it's just down to Roman, and it's just down to Solo.
We're going to have another little spear, but he might duck and dive.
Yeah. Ooh! Kevin Owens! Kevin Owens appeared from nowhere! And he's telling Solo to pin him. 1, 2. Oh, and a kick out by Roman. Again, Kevin, look at the pin.
Oh, I would have kind of liked that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Crowd is shouting for Cody.
Yeah. Oh,
he's going to package pile driver. And here comes Cody. See, you said this wasn't going to be like Bloodline rules.
Yeah, they don't understand their own matches. These are all against the rules of tribal combat.
And now it's Cody and KO brawling. Go for the pop-up power bomb, but Cody reverses into the Cody cutter.
Oh God, I love him. I miss being here and telling you all. And now they're brawling into the crowd.
Cody knows that area of the crowd very well.
Man bun is having a time of his life.
And now we're back down to Roman and Solo.
But both of them are getting up at the same time in the corner. So it's going to be a sort of who's fight forever.
He's cocked it up. Oh, he's caught him with the... He caught him when he was going for the Superman punch. Goes for the spike. Ducked it. Spear by Roman.
And he's set up to do another one.
These guys are fired up.
The drone just flying around.
Whee!
Roman signaling for another spear.
Hoo-ah!
Solo turns around.
Spear by Roman. Surely now. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns wins. Gets the Ulafala. Thought the match was fine.
Yeah, it was absolutely fine, but it was enjoyable fine.
Enjoyable fine.
Yeah.
Like, all the cameos and stuff were very fun. And I think the cameos led to very lovely false finishes.
Yes.
Which is what you'd be after with the cameos and stuff. So I enjoyed all of that.
I like it when I can suspend my disbelief enough to go, oh, what might you do here? Like the idea of Kevin Owens costing Roman Reigns and maybe Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns do something like that.
It was the Kevin one, I think, that actually really got me. Because, Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu, Sammy, that's pretty much template stuff. It was Kevin coming out that actually really popped me. I really got into that, and I bought into the finish.
Yeah, yes, exactly, and that's really what you're after.
Exactly,
and this is nice. The other thing about a black mat is there is sawdust.
Oh, that's right.
What?
I forgot about this. The live chat just reminded me. Ollie Davis bet me. Oh, there's The Rock. Okay, we'll come to that in a second.
Okay, to cap this whole thing off, The Rock is going to put the Ulafala around his neck.
Oh, he did? Yes. Well, I mean,
that's what I would... To cap this whole Rock babyface turn.
Because Paul Heyman did say that he was going to do the presenting, but perhaps The Rock's going to come down and do that instead. Or are we going to do Rock Roman this year? Because he has been talking a lot about this High Chief thing.
Or maybe there's the idea of he's going to acknowledge him and finally put this all to bed. Rock making his way to the ring.
Heyman passes it to The Rock. And The Rock puts it around the neck of Roman Reigns.
Heyman getting himself nicely in position.
Yeah, certainly feels like it's letting us know this match could still happen down the line. They shake hands.
Blood brothers.
Yeah. Like Predator. And a hug. Rock bottom, rock bottom.
I'm not going to lie, there was a little part of me that hoped he was going to put it on himself.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Or Heyman was going to put it on him. Yeah. All right. So this does feel like it's a Rock babyface turn, right?
Yeah, this feels like it's drawing a line under the final boss.
Yeah.
Or at least this idea of any internal bloodline stuff.
Mm-hmm. But there's still this, like, because the way the Rock's looking at him is like, we will have a match. We'll have the match we were supposed to have at WrestleMania last year. Possibly maybe not at this year's Mania, but we'll do it down the line at some point.
I don't know if I needed the Cody element of it. Of the Rock.
Oh, what, in the opening promo?
Yeah, I think you can do a Rock accepting the tribal chiefdom of Roman Reigns without getting entirely rid of the Cody thing.
Yeah. And, the segment's still going, so there could still be the swerve.
That won't be. Now who's the optimist?
All right, no, that is it. That is it. That's Punk in his Ring of Honor gear. That's his Ring of Honor stuff. That's a Ring of Honor jacket
Punk
right there.
Gear is among my favorite.
That's a Ring of Honor jacket right there.
Can I just say I'm really into this Punk hair?
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah. I never really liked the slick back. It was never my thing.
What was I talking about?
The Ollie thing?
Anyway, Ollie bet me on the picture show. So here's something new since because you weren't there for the Christmas show.
Yeah.
The championship rules have now changed. It is essentially a 24/7 title now.
Wait, where's that?
Well, Sat lost it on the Christmas episode because Ollie beat him in a Christmas quiz. And then
on was really falling off the the cliff since my dominant reign.
And then Ollie said to me, "All right, I'm going to bet if Solo Sikoa, if Roman beats Solo, then you can be the champion." So I've won the championship now, so I'm going to go get the belt.
All right, fair enough. Currently, for those of you going for an ad, we're having an ad. It's for WWE Shop, a Fanatics experience, no less. And in the meantime, wow, look at that. So wait, the championship rules are 24/7 and anything?
Well, if anyone wants to challenge for the belt, they can just lay down a challenge for it. And also, I'm going to...
All right, I challenge that Jackie Redmond is about to interview the New Day.
Well, I've got to accept the challenge.
I thought it was 24/7.
It's not like that. Yeah! Champion again! I mean, it sounds like they're about to interview the New Day.
So I would argue by the rules as laid out just now that it is a 24/7 championship and anyone can challenge for it. I challenged that Jackie Redmond was about to interview the New Day. The New Day are now being interviewed. So I would like to put it to the chat and see whether or not they think I should now be the champion. I didn't
accept the challenge.
It's not for you to accept if you're a fighting champion or not.
I didn't accept the challenge.
I think you should accept it, and I think we could see how many times this championship is going to go back and forth over the course of this broadcast. What does the chat say? That's my question.
Well, of course. See, yeah, Luke didn't say yes.
Cowards.
Said one person, and everyone is agreeing with you.
Give it to me! Mod Mother Janet, can we have a poll, please? Can we have a poll? Should Dan have the championship? Should Dan be the rightful champion? Kofi looks great. I love that coat.
It's awesome as a heel as well.
Yeah. Everyone agrees.
This isn't actually being broadcast in the US. This is only for the UK viewers. They're in commercial at the moment. Doesn't count, mate. Ten Ruzza here said, "It's Dan. Hope you're good, man. Great to see you. You think it's going 3 or 4 hours tonight? This is my first time watching any WWE for like a year and a bit. It's going to be an interesting watch. Anyway, Wrestle Kingdom / Dynasty was fun. Omega is him."
I hope it doesn't go 4 hours. I've got school tomorrow.
I was going to say, I think it's probably going to go 3, right?
3 feels like a nice amount of time.
Yeah.
Even his pay-per-views don't go 3 hours.
Ryan here said, FYI, I've got the most expensive Netflix plan and got the video package for Roman and Solo, so the package doesn't make a difference. It seems for international viewers.
Right.
I've heard about packages making differences for international people. Wubufet said, outside of the US, I saw on Twitter that there are not to be any adverts during the match. Not sure how true that was. Well, that's true for us. We got the entire match. We didn't get any advert breaks during the commercial, during the match itself. Rafael Garcia said, you ask what direction they go in? I'm glad you ask. If Solo loses tonight and LA Knight loses on Friday, we achieve Luke Owen's lifelong dream of full TNA with JJ as AEW champion and the return of The Rising in WWE. TNA will always win. You know what? You know what?
I don't know who The Rising are.
It was. That was a Penta tease.
It still is.
It still is a Penta tease. There it is, Penta.
Has that been on before?
No, the last one they did was just the mask reveal, not the name. So I guess maybe he's not going to be debuting on this episode then.
Well, I swear they said it was going to be on the 6th of January.
Oh yeah?
I swear I've seen those, but maybe I'm just Mandela affecting it.
Now we are in advert times. It's adverts for the Royal Rumble.
The Rumble, yeah.
Got to give WWE some credit today as well. Very much learning how to bury their own news story that they don't want people to focus on. They announced today the partnership with Hulk Hogan's beer and that the Royal Rumble is going to be in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Because no one's going to be talking about this in tomorrow's news cycle because they'll be talking about Netflix and Raw.
So the Rumble back in January next year.
Back in January, and it's in Saudi Arabia for the first time. It's the first pay-per-view version of the Rumble that will be featured outside of North America.
Oh.
Dan Rosa here said, Dan, I went to a Q&A screening of Better Man with Robbie here in Melbourne. It was so much fun and free-flowing Prosecco and popcorn was a great night, and we have adopted him as ours. He's brilliant.
Back off.
Intense movie as well. Just need to see him in concert.
Yeah, I really need to go and see that movie. It's the movie where Robbie Williams is played by a monkey.
Yeah.
And I'm so bemused by it, and yet it does feel incredibly on brand. Oh, we're getting a lovely drone
Here's
shot.
the drone shot. Whoop.
Into the arena.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I just want them to commit like they do with a single... The sort of like the Steadicam shot. It's going through the lovely IKEA lanterns.
Yeah.
Mind your
headphones. Mind your headphones. Here we go. We're going through.
That's what I'm talking about.
Way!
Sick.
That is wicked, though, isn't it? That's rad.
I bet that at some point LA Knight is going to be featured on camera.
Oh, there's the War Raiders.
And then Rey Mysterio will also be featured on camera. I bet you for the championship.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. It's Fluffy, that's his name. I know that Denise Salcedo is a big fan.
What the fuck is Fluffy?
That's what I said that to Denise.
How long have I gone?
Well, I think he's massive in America, but I believe he's been popular for years and years and years. Here's Ashton Kutcher.
As a movie fan.
Is he really?
You tweeted it once. I
mean, as well he should be, because it's awesome.
Michael J! Former WrestleMania star.
Should also note, if anyone's a fan of Astef, star of Astef.
That's my boy. No, my boy.
And there's Reg.
Give it. Ah.
There's the War Raiders. When Eric smiles like that,
I didn't get a feature,
and he's got like the big beard, and he just looks like one of my mates from university,
young Santa.
Oh, Wale, former Quizlemania contestant Wale. He still owes us like a pair of shoes. And there's LA Knight.
He is.
No, I don't, like legit. Like Eric, the smile on Eric's face, he looks like my mate. He looks like my mate Splat.
That's his legal name.
No, his name was Matt, but when he was a teenager, he broke a lot of his bones in his body, so he nicknamed Splat.
I saw they post something like, "No one does Cena. Cena's here." No one does banter like white lads. Like when it comes to nicknames, they said that there's a guy, a friend of theirs called Anthony, who's 5'2", and they call him Shetland Tony.
You know what? One of Ollie's friends called Ketamine Dan.
Yeah.
Here's John Cena as part of the farewell tour. The last time is now. I got a proper called out on a show recently because I did not know the name of the cameraman.
Stu.
There you go. Because someone chatted in about Stu and we thought they were talking about Bennett.
Nah.
And I was like, no, it's Stu. And then it was like, it's the cameraman. And he was like, oh, does he? Like, I didn't know that he like chatted to a cameraman.
He talks to Stu all the time.
And it's been the same cameraman as well.
Yeah, there's a wonderful bit in that behind the scenes of Punk returning at the Survivor Series that he sort of sees Corey Graves, and obviously we know they have a huge history of being very close and then being very far apart, and it's like their first sort of time seeing each other in a long time. There's a lot of heavy emotion involved in that moment, and just as they're about to shake hands and see each other again, Stu just gets in the middle of them and it's fully cuts his moment off.
Time for a Cena promo. Fan speech.
Fan speech. Yeah, we're on Netflix.
I mean, he saw this place when it was pretty much empty. The dark days.
I wonder if those LED lights would have broken through the tops.
Oh, that's nice.
I love that hoodie. That Peacemaker is better than Black Adam.
That's true. On Netflix, don't you know? You don't know how big the show is. There's a lot of people watching this show right now.
On what platform?
Netflix.
On Netflix?
Yeah.
Why do they mention it? Ah, there it is.
It's even on his t-shirt.
Oh my god, it is as well.
All right, lads. Yeah, I get it. We get it. It's Monday Night Raw and it's on Netflix. Because I live here now.
He won the WWE Championship there for the first time.
Oh, I was going to say because I live here now.
WrestleMania 21. Oh. Thank you.
Good fact.
Bit of history.
Would you like to see him win a 17th world title?
Well, so here's my thing. I don't... My question is always, what do you do after that?
I'll let you ponder on it.
Thank you.
Timely that I asked that question.
Can you imagine a world where people chanted, "You deserve it" to John Cena for a world championship?
You know, nostalgia...
It's a hell of a drug.
It's a hell of a drug.
Hell of a drug.
People think that episode 2 is a good film now.
They do.
He doesn't see it happening.
See, that is one of the reasons that I don't see it. But if you're going to tell a compelling story around the idea of him going for it, then I'm all for seeing what happens.
You're saying it's never going to happen.
Oh, John, your cap literally says never give up.
He's for sure winning a title this year. Then.
I think he's winning a title.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, I'm going to get a match where Michael Cole screams about miracles and it almost happens. And it solidifies someone.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't want it to be at WrestleMania.
I see. This is all a setup for it. I think for sure now, like you're setting this up now.
But I see, for me, he's just said that. Don't have him win the Rumble. Don't have him win the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't get to go for it at Mania.
Ollie's idea is my favourite, which is that the title match that he has is on his final match.
That's what I'm saying. At Madison Square Garden Saturday night's main event, can he get the miracle? Who's to say? I find that far more compelling than going for it at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Unless he has one where he loses it, the opportunity, and then like...
Could be a 3-time winner of the Rumble, which means he would tie Austin as well.
Yeah. Never give up. It says so. Where's my merch?
Dan sees it.
That's a good promo.
Yeah. See, Cena's not my guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm too old. Like he's not my guy. I was never a Cena guy. But I'm also very much an advocate of don't have the old timers win the Royal Rumble. Use the Royal Rumble to try and like make some new stars, like build some new people up, create some new interesting directions to do. I think John Cena is the exception to that rule, though, particularly while you're doing this John Cena story.
Yeah,
like John Cena winning this year's Royal Rumble is such a good choice. Like I think it is. 2 years ago, I'd have said it was a really bad choice because I think you should be using it to try and like create someone new. But I think, but when you've got a roster that's like this, but also you're in Cena's final year, you only get to do Cena's final year once. Have him win the Royal Rumble.
See this, so
or at least entertain the idea.
You only get Cena's final year once. Is why I'm saying have him lose the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what makes
compelling.
This compelling television is the idea that it's like. That's a good argument, and you can follow a nice thread through.
Mm-hmm.
The argument to have him not win it and have this idea of this losing streak, because he's also set up the idea of a losing streak.
He hasn't won a match in 2000.
Oh no, God, he hasn't had a match in a long time. But like, we're getting a little Logan Paul video here, unfortunately.
Raymond here said, did anyone else notice the LED lights on the announce desk? Doesn't look like anyone's going through them. Also, happy championship victory, Luke. That's right. Your new champ, that champion. Won it on a bet. Ollie still owes me 10 quid as well. Which I bloody better get tomorrow. Well, look at that guy. There's a guy there who was like in...
Here we go. Liv Morgan.
Oh, champ coming out first. One of my weird bugbears in wrestling.
Cry about it. It says so on the screen. One of my big bugbears in wrestling is hair extensions. And this has been a bugbear of mine since, like, I remember when NXT was first taking off with the 4 Horsewomen.
Mm-hmm.
It used to get me cross that you essentially had the blonde, the purple, the orange. They all had brightly coloured hair. They all had the same hair extension. That used to really grind my gears for precisely no reason.
Right. We are all in agreement here that no matter the result, this is the end of this feud.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you stretch it to WrestleMania.
No, Dan, don't get on that.
I don't know. I mean,
Dan, it's not till April 20th, no less. That's basically May. Can we have a poll, please, Mod Mother? Who have you got to win this match, Liv Morgan or Rhea Ripley? I am very firmly in Rhea Ripley. What I'd really like to see is Rhea Ripley just walk down, hit her with a riptide, and she wins.
Yeah.
I'm ready for this to be over. I'm ready to be done with this.
I certainly like the idea of Rhea Ripley having... Okay, they're having it up next. I might use this to go and get a coffee.
All right. Oh, can you make me a tea, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. I wouldn't trust the coffee around it too much. The instant stuff's pretty nasty.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Well, instant coffee can be good, though.
Not always.
Hey, you come to my house. I'll make you a decent cup of instant coffee.
All right. Deal.
It's the only way I can get to come to my house these days. We've also got here... Oh, I'll save the Derpies to Derps chats because it is directly for Dan. If you want to get your Ultra chats in, it is WrestleTalk.com/support. Adam Hunter here said Cena should win at WrestleMania so he can face Punk at Money in the Bank where Punk wins it from him. Drew should win the briefcase, cash it in on Punk directly after mirroring Punk screwing Drew at Mania last year. And actually screwing him in a championship match cash-in last year's Money in the Bank as well. It's a little bit too much hot percent of the title. Also, I think if you're going to do Cena wins the title and breaks the record, I would like to see it kind of have some legs to it, not just be this short run. I think it's the same thing I had with Jay winning the IC title. They made such a big deal out of Jay's never won an IC title. He's never won a singles title in WWE. But he only had it for like 4 weeks, so wasn't matter. Now he's got the accolade, so I guess that's all it is. That just makes the belt feel like a prop. It should have a nice long run with that. If Cena's going to win the belt, I'd like to see him either do it early doors and then hold it till the end of the year, or in my favourite pitch, which did come from one Oliver Davis. It's probably come from several others, but I've heard it first from Oliver Davis. He wins it on his last match and then vacates it afterwards. that I'm really into. Or like he goes for it in his final match and then doesn't win. But I'm more compelled by that. Like of the two options. But I do think if he's going to win it, he should have it for a long time, not a short time. Looking at the poll as it's currently going on, vote in that poll. Rhea is currently dominating it, though not as much as Roman did with the solo poll. So B-Man here is Liv wins by disqualification, which, and I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that idea. Liv wins, because I am ready for this to be done, guys. But I think everyone knows that by now. I'm very much done with this feud. I'm sick of seeing these two in the ring together. I'm very much over Liv being champion, and it's not even like, because here's the thing: it's not even like I'm pining for Rhea's world title run, because I think you can go back and look in the archives of the Raw reviews that Dan and I did. I thought Rhea's world title run was pretty naff because she didn't do anything with it. That's not her fault. That's the booking of her as champion, of course. But she didn't have any big feuds either. Like, she just had some matches. She was mostly just a second for the Judgment Day. So I'm not like saying, I'm pining for the glory days of Rhea as champion. But I'm well over Liv as champion. Well over Liv as champion. WWE's on Netflix, in case you hadn't heard. But if you haven't heard of us, please do check us out. Press the subscribe button. Give us a little comment down below. Join the live chat as well. Vote in our poll of who you think is going to win this match. You can get your Ultra Chats read out. WrestleTalk.com/support. We will be doing a news video tomorrow. Oliver Davis will be giving his full breakdown of this on the WrestleTalk news tomorrow. And then we'll be doing a live podcast review, myself and Oliver Davis, going through this segment by segment in the WrestleTalk podcast. So click the subscribe button and help us out with that. We're also planning some really fun series. We have been doing some really good stuff on our Patreon recently, where we've been doing these sort of like series, looking at like a certain storyline from start to finish on WrestleTalk Extra. Previously, we used to just do like random shows. It's Seth Green. We used to just sort of like do random shows, but then we started doing like, okay, we did the breakup of the Shield, then we did Angle versus Joe in TNA. Macaulay Culkin! Hey! Pop of the night! It's actually one of the bigger pops that these stars have got. See, people are like, John Cena, hey, it's Ice Cube! Oh no, it's not Shea Jackson Jr. He just well looks like his dad. Genuinely thought that was Ice Cube for a second. I don't know who Danielle Fishel is. Anyone else? Anyone help me with that one? Yeah, good. It wasn't just me. Someone else thought that was Ice Cube as well. And here are the women's tag team champions. Hey, it's Waltman! Oh no, we're going back to the champions. Oh, and there's Shinsuke Nakamura. Paul Waltman? Show some respect to Waltman. There's Waltman. There we go. Show some respect to him. It's because they panned to the wrong person. Ah, I love Waltman. Judgment Day standing in the ring the entire time. So, Topanga. Let's have a look at this one. Topanga. Oh, Girl Meets World. Was she in Boys Meets World then? I'll be honest, Boy Meets World wasn't a real big thing here in the UK. It was on, don't get me wrong. And I know that some people did get into it. It wasn't anything that was particularly on my radar, I'll be honest with you. But I have heard of Topanga now that I've looked at that, and I know that Topanga was an early crush for people of men of my age. And here comes Rhea bloody Ripley. We've also got LJ Magician here said, this show has been a whole bunch of nothing so far. Really big stars don't mean much if they don't do anything interesting. Hope it gets better as the show goes on. Punk and Seth will probably be excellent. What do you think so far, Luke? All the best to your family. Well, thank you very much. I would broadly agree. Like, it's been on for an hour and a half, and I'd say there's been two things that have happened, which was Roman beat Solo and John Cena announced himself for the Rumble. That's not a lot to happen within 90 minutes of television. But also, the Roman match was given time. The Cena announcement, I think, is a big thing. Although I'm pretty sure we knew that Cena was going to be in the Rumble. I think he'd announced that previously. But I think that sets up a nice storyline to carry us through the rest of the year. So I like that. I think the only thing there's kind of like a bit of a dud for me is the stuff with The Rock. Like, that's the stuff that I've not really loved, was like The Rock just turning face and just being a regular guy. Not that bit I've not loved. Hello, you got my tea? Yeah. Thank you. Were you a Boy Meets Girl watcher?
I was not.
No, I was trying to say, because so Topanga was in the audience. So was Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, I tuned in to see X-Pac was there twice. Do you know this is on Netflix? I watched it on my phone.
So that Danielle woman, that was Topanga from Boy Meets World. But I was saying, like, I didn't think it was actually a big deal here in the UK. Like, I know we got it because it was on, but I don't think it had a particularly... Not like, like Friends got a real, like...
Oh, yeah.
Like Friends and Frasier got, like, a real, like, claw... Will and Grace got a real claw into the UK.
There were some sitcoms that just did not translate.
Also, someone asked about... they said that this show has been a whole bunch of nothing so far. They wanted to get your thoughts on it.
I don't think it's been nothing. I did enjoy the Tribal Combat match. I thought once John Cena got involved in his promo, it went somewhere. It felt pretty like setting up a year.
Yes, yeah. I like the Cena stuff.
I think the first 20 minutes being... I really liked that video package. I really liked Triple H's Janet moment. But then there being a sort of a long period where both Triple H and The Rock talked about how Raw is on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Felt a little bit like...
It's the corporate part of the broadcast.
One after the other was a lot. And that, I think I wouldn't be surprised if you did feel like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And I would argue that's why.
Well, that's what I'd said. Like, it's quite curious that, it's a chat there was like, this show's been a bunch of nothing. And I was like, well, really, it's only 3 things have been on the show in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Which was The Rock did a promo, Roman had a match, and Cena did a promo.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't sound like a lot of things to happen within 90 minutes, but it's also like that's, a lot of it's about the entrances and...
Yeah, and I don't watch UFC or boxing, and I wonder how much of those shows are the sort of padding and the pageantry. And if you watch a full broadcast of a football match, outside the 45 minutes, you've got a lot of fluff.
And considering we have only got 4 matches on this show, you would imagine that these will be... this match will be given some time. The chat's also very mad at me because I didn't watch Boy Meets World.
Sorry, everybody.
Takes out Raquel Rodriguez.
Who's in her full disciples of... What were they?
Disciple of the Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Come on, show them some, you show 8-Ball some respect.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, Rhea is outnumbered here.
She's going for Lita Conrana.
The Ripley quarter. Whoa! Lovely powerbomb onto the table.
Reinforced table.
Ain't no break in that table as Raw rolls on.
Now, Rhea Ripley seems to be making a claim to be most naked wrestler.
No, if you're making the claim to be most naked wrestler, you need to be wearing flesh-coloured.
Right.
She's just wearing pants.
It's more that the top half has gone.
Isn't this a last woman standing?
No.
I thought this was the last woman standing match. Is it false count anywhere? And I know it's no DQ because that's why Dom's getting involved. I got it wrong. I thought this was a last woman standing match.
Maybe you're right.
Well, I mean, it says that on Wikipedia. It's the last woman standing match, but she just went for a pin.
She did. Now there's the Lita Conrada.
Oh, it was never a last woman standing. It's just a regular match.
I'll do some research.
They dropped the stipulation, apparently.
When?
Pogo was here, said, I'm hyped for Raw, but to switch topic a little F me. Kenny versus Gabe was great. An early match of the year for me. Hot dog. That match is something else. Match was incredible. Just like perfect from start to end. Should have been the main event. I am actually baffled that it was not the main event. No disrespect to Zach and Rick, but like I think it should have been the main event. And like if that match wasn't any more perfect, it then beautifully had a full stop at the end as it cuts to Hiroshi Tanahashi at ringside on commentary crying.
Yeah, now that I've seen.
Because he witnessed something beautiful in the ring. Like he just witnessed pure wrestling art. He's like, it's so good. I love wrestling. Oh, it was awesome. And that'll feature a match of the year list at the end of the year. Of that, I've little doubt.
I don't know. It's a long way to go.
People said that about what was I think it was Kenny and Will.
Yeah, with no account of good taste.
And Joe here said, I don't think Cena should win the Rumble, but should put on a show and come in second to push the losing streak longer and keep stacking the odds against him. I like that as well.
This is what I'm saying. And also the idea of like, or you could set up a nice sort of little feud situation by having someone eliminate him in the Royal Rumble and then maybe also in the Elimination Chamber. And then it's like that person got his number, even if neither of them get the opportunity.
As much as I am not a fan of his work, it would be really it'd be great if it was Austin Theory. Because he beat him at WrestleMania. Like he beat him at WrestleMania, he eliminates him from the Rumble, he's got Cena's number. So we're now coming back from ad break. I'm just going to read this little chat before we get, because the Derpies of Derp said, hold on, you're telling me the Dan voice is one of my favourite Astiff movie clips ever?
Yeah.
Tell Tom's Grow I said hi.
I absolutely will. I also really enjoy that people don't know that's my voice. and then I really enjoy when they find out. Because it was a big on TikTok. It was my girlfriend didn't realise it was me.
Also, the poll results have Rhea, our viewership voting for Rhea to win this match, predicting that Rhea will win this match, 80% of the vote. Which I'll be honest, is lower than I thought.
Lower than gives me hope. Yeah, the announce table is fancy.
It is fancy, isn't it? I like it. Ain't no one breaking that.
Which will make it so that if they do at some point, it feels like a big deal.
When they do.
Maybe they can do a little pyro effect.
Liv Morgan booting at Rhea Ripley as she's struggling to get back to her feet. Dominic's mustache is fantastic.
Yeah, I am not a fan of a mustache, and I'm not a fan of a mullet. And Dominic Mysterio manages to make both work. And I think that is worthy of respect.
What did you think of my mustache?
So Liv is currently smacking Rhea.
That's my boy. Rhea making her comeback. Little ripcord there.
Oh!
And now off the rope, sliding knee.
Big knee to the face.
It was. And now here comes Rhea. She's all fired up now. Trying to get the crowd into this.
No.
She's getting the... Oops. Liv gets... Nope, Liv gets out. Reversal into a suplex.
What is this 2K24 bullshit? That was so unnecessary, Rhea. Rhea basically like looked like she was going for a package or a situation, flipped Liv up, caught her, then lifted her up, and then just hit her with a straight suplex. Yeah. There was no need. Lovely.
Oh, lovely. That's a lovely little suplex. Morgan kicks out. Here we go, going for Riptide. Morgan reverses. Backstabber. And thrown her into the corner. Targeting the shoulder.
The famed shoulder. And for a little tornado DDT situation. Beautifully
done.
Oh,
wonderful. Wonderful flip over there by Ripley. It's a lovely cup of tea, by the way.
Welcome. This is actually not that bad.
Yeah,
I've had worse.
Oh, your coffees. I was going to say I thought I could smell the Weetabix sense of instant coffee. Headbutt by Ripley.
Maybe about to go for an oblivion situation.
Mm-hmm.
Enziguri by Liv.
Rolls her through into a Riptide. She hits the Riptide. 1, 2. Morgan kicks out of the Riptide.
Huge. One of the rare occurrences where the come on ref that absolutely was 3 is valid.
Yeah. And how many people do kick out of that? Oh, and here comes Dom. He's sliding the title belts.
To distract the ref.
Because distract the ref.
Oh, we're going to have a sort of oblivion onto the chair situation.
And there's oblivion onto the chair. The plan has worked. 1, 2. Ripley kicks out.
That is the way a match finished between these two long ago. Or was it Becky Lynch?
It was Becky Lynch, yeah.
So that plan has worked in the past. Nice little touch.
Was it Becky? Yeah, she did the oblivion onto the belt, right? Yeah. No, it wasn't no Dom turn. It was the start of... Because Dom turned at SummerSlam.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
He just did like... It's because WWE do a lot of the same spots in their matches. Yeah. Oh, the 3 amigos. The 3 heel amigos.
Was Liv's father-in-law.
That's a good joke.
Thank you.
I'm going to steal that on tomorrow's podcast.
By all means.
You know because you mentioned it earlier. I keep seeing the logo for the Real American Beer thing, and I keep thinking it's a stop sign.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, oh, there's a stop sign in the ring. Oh no, it's not.
Oh no. Little frog splash.
I really wish. Here's my plea to wrestlers. Can everyone stop doing a frog splash if you can't do it?
It's a deceptively simple move.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But like, you watch Eddie do it. Or like, you watch Rob do it.
Well, there's a reason Rob Van Dam's was 5 stars.
Yeah. It's because Meltzer wouldn't give him 5 stars for his matches.
And it's... You know what was underrated? D'Lo Brown.
Oh, yeah. D'Lo had a wicked one, yeah. But, like
Liv going for another oblivion, but Rhea holds onto the ropes. And looks like they might have a lovely kiss.
Actually, you know what? I will say, I think Kevin Owens has got a pretty good frog splash.
Yes, he does.
He just tosses
with essentially a Uranagi.
Yeah, just
tosses like go straight for...
and now we're going for the finish.
Second Riptide.
Here's the Riptide.
No, that's not enough.
She's got some finishes stored. 1, 2, 3. Ripley.
There you go.
I don't know, like...
that match was fine at best.
It's like fine at best, but also just I think it's also emblematic of Liv Morgan as a champion as well. It's just like she just literally went, nah.
She also wasn't
just like shrugged her off and just hit her move and won.
I think the problem here is that Liv has had no feuds for this, really, except for that one brief one with Zelina Vega. It's been a question of when is Rhea Ripley strong enough,
to win the belt back,
and they didn't allow her the time to develop a championship. Dom's in the ring.
Oh, look at Dom. He's trying to...
He's a glory hunter.
He's a glory hunter. Look at him. He's trying to get a hug in from Rhea Ripley.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I still haven't seen Rhea Ripley do any physicality on Dom.
No. Yeah, they were saving it, really, weren't they? They were building for that spot.
Yeah, lovely.
There it is, yeah.
Nice big kick to
And here we go. Here's the Riptide. We've been building to this spot for months.
And he's taking it well.
Yeah. There you go. That's it. Done. Dunzo Dunzarelli.
Yeah, but you know who hasn't had her comeuppance yet? Raquel
She
Rodriguez.
beat her.
When?
She beat her on TV.
Never mind.
A couple of weeks ago.
I was busy that day.
All right, that's the end of that feud. Lovely stuff. Wonderful. Let's move on. Let's all get into a prayer circle, and we can do Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the championship at WrestleMania.
Bang, 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 bang. No bang, 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 but lots of lovely graphics.
Uh-huh. Are we going to get the Becky return, though? And that was a good dick kick.
Yeah, it was effective. I just think that my issue with this is it's something that Triple H struggles with and always has, even down to NXT. And I think he's genuinely very good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Is the bang, bang, bang? Oh, they spent it all at the beginning. Is keeping a storyline hot or doing your sort of weekly TV thing. Like, for Michelle McCool? But Dark Michelle McCool?
The Undertaker?
Is coming for the Women's World Championship?
He's gonna... It's the American Badass. What a random Undertaker appearance.
Give me Michelle McCool on the back of that bike.
Mm-hmm. Here he is.
Not going to give a shine to her or anything like that. Not going to give her a little good for you. I guess she said no to his podcast. I love that these days he has his sort of wide bike that makes it look like a tricycle.
It is. Fat hog. Because we can't really... is he come out to...
Oh, wait.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, he's going to get her on the back of the bike?
He's going to give her a backy. Oh, and they're going to do the pose together. There's your bang, bang, bang.
I've been waiting for a little bang, bang, bang. I just didn't think he deserved it.
Gotta wait for the Undertaker to come out.
No, you don't. You have to wait for the Undertaker to go away. Give her the bike and walk off. At least he gave her some shine.
Yep.
And respect the business.
And then off he goes.
Is NXT?
Is it about that's the party girls?
They're back in NXT.
There's Otis and Gable.
Never mind. This is the Raw superstars.
Dragon Lee, not wanting to party with the New Day.
I tell you, I love a box. I was in a box at the O2. I was in a box at the O2 once. It was exquisite. For SmackDown.
Never been in one.
Time of my life. Free food everywhere. So many macarons you wouldn't believe.
Thomas here said, look, I understand this is Cena's last year, but is it necessary for him to win the championship? I remember the dark days of Cena's reign of terror, and I've only been into Cena since his US Open challenge. I think he should win. I don't think he should win just because.
This is it.
Yeah, I agree, because you and I are in a similar boat. I didn't like really any of Cena's title reigns as champion. I was never a Cena guy. Got into him when he was doing the US Open challenge stuff. Are you okay? Oh, are we looking to sign Bayley to Monday Night Raw, are we?
Kathy's a vision in red.
Oh! Help! Yeah, Bayley's going back to Raw. Damage control. That's so great. That's the Penta feud.
There you go.
Of course, Penta's first match is against Chad Gable.
Oh, I'm so glad she was on.
Chad versus Penta as well.
I mean, he's going to be great.
That's a beautiful little match.
It's nice and tasty.
But to finish up the point I was going to make to Thomas here about Cena, it's like, yeah, look, I'm not a Cena guy. I've never been my guy. I only really got into him in the US, so I agree with all of that. I think this is too big a deal, though. Like, it's Cena's final year, and I love both of these ideas. One, that he finally does break the record, and two, he comes so close and crushingly doesn't. Like, I love both of those.
Yeah.
But you do only get one chance to do this.
I will also say...
And I think I would put the belt... Excuse me, I would put the belt on him.
I will also say there's sort of two things that I'm thinking of here. One of which is, like... I was never really anti-Cena in that way. I was more like, Do you know what I mean? I was never so against it. But there certainly was a point where it was, and I think it was more that the show wide was tedious.
Oh,
which is why CM Punk himself was like the sort of
the voice of the voiceless,
saving grace and all that stuff. But look at the material, right? He comes out, he gets that big reaction, he has that conversation with the fans, he starts talking about winning the Royal Rumble, they go wild. So at the end of the day, you've got people buying into it. Now, part of that is nostalgia, part of that is just being in the moment. How far do you stretch that, practically speaking? But I do think a little bit, as you say, you've only got one shot at this. I wouldn't have trusted a previous regime to do anything, to do that story right. I trust this one to get the big beats right. And this is sort of tying into a little bit what I was saying about Triple H, is like, the Rhea Liv thing didn't... It should have finished a long time ago. It hit a peak. And I wanted, like, at Backlash, essentially, or like whenever they split, and it was like, you know, the Terror Twins, and I wanted to see the intergender rules, or the moment there. That's when you get Dom. Next pay-per-view, you get Liv. Obviously, partly there's something to do with the Karrion Kross and Scarlett are there with the Miz. Apparently, you get, you know, there's injuries and things like that. But he does get the big beats right generally. So I'm looking at him having plotted out a year of Cena's last run, and there's a plan. So at the very least, I feel like that's... I trust this implicitly in Triple H's creative hands.
Quote the Raven says, these ad breaks suck. They seem to be placed in weird locations and they continue the commentary during it, so it just cuts in mid-sentence. Just feels awkward. Also, we don't need Cena as champ. Part-timers don't need titles. I think Cena is the edge case. I think it's an exception to this rule. I would normally agree. But it's if Cena wasn't retiring, then I would say yes. Don't put the title on him because he doesn't need it. Part-timers don't need belts. But it's Cena's last year, and I do think it... as I've said, I see both of them.
You said Cena was the edge case. What does that mean?
Of the exception to the rule, the other way to say that is that's an edge case.
I see. Of course, it's now named the Cope case.
Very good.
Thank you.
Tony, the WWE Jedi, said, first time watcher of the live stream. Thank you very much. Keep up the amazing work, everyone. Also, yay, Dick Kick City has been the best spot of the night. I still think Kevin Owens interfering was my spot of the night so far.
Yeah, Kevin. I think Kevin's one of the best things in the show.
Yeah. And Will here says, cool seeing Luke hosting this show with Action Dandreddy.
All right. It's not the worst.
Oh, it's because you can't call you Kip Sabian anymore.
Yeah,
because
I'm not blonde anymore.
You dyed your hair. Great to see you, Dan. Miss you on the shows, but proud of your journey.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
We all are.
I'm doing as best as I can.
You're crushing it.
Oh, thank you. I got my reports back. They were quite nice.
Well, that's because you're really good, Dan.
Reading them, I was like,
it's because you're a very talented man.
Thank you.
Excellent at what you do.
Remember that when I'm in Oh, hello. Something's gone wrong.
I was going to say, they were... I think Michael Cole got cut off mid-sentence there. And they've filmed this on a potato by the looks of things.
It's The Rock's Instagram. There he is. Give me a little cuddle, Triple H. Little kiss.
Yep.
Oh, left him hanging. Hate it. There's nothing I hate more than an.
He's just drinking white wine.
Drinking his Terramana. As. Oh, it's Travis Scott. Is that Travis Scott?
There he is with Cody. Best mates.
You just been raw dogging Terramana, and now you're gonna get behind the wheel of a car?
That's America. They've got low alcohol levels. Did we need that?
The Rock is on the board. He gets whatever he wants. This is another way of them being like, "Thank you, Rock. Thank you for not. Don't mess up my plans again."
Damage control.
There they are, look. Promoting the Boston Celtics.
Some Netflix people. Here they are. They've moved seats. Yeah, Vanessa Hudgens. Now we're talking about it. Now it's about High School Musical.
Tick Tick Boom available on Netflix. That is that's a bit of integration.
High School Musical available on Disney Plus. It's her magnum opus. Even though Sharpay is the best thing in the films. There she is, Michelle McCool.
It's not how you spell her name.
With Lyra Valkyria. Doesn't get a shout out, I guess.
She will in a second. They're doing this really weird.
They had a thing earlier where they panned to Waltman, but then panned back.
They came back to and Michael Cole was like, they really love her.
There she is.
Oh, this is your boy. We're having a musical interlude.
Oh. I was going to say the crowd pops, and I'm like, is this entrance music? I don't know.
No. He has no idea he's there.
Cool. Thank you, Travis Scott.
Oh, is this a new theme then?
Guess so. That's what they just said. He's vaping indoors.
He's not vaping indoors. That was a blunt. He's smoking a full-on joint.
Vaping indoors.
And I'd like to just state for the record that smoking weed is not the same thing as having a personality. Also, it stinks.
That I would disagree with.
It stinks.
We'll see.
And it leaves a stink behind.
I have not smoked weed in years and years and years. A decade plus, I would say. But the one thing I would say is that it's a wonderful smell.
Some people really like the smell, other people don't. And I think if your habit makes other people feel a bit ill, maybe. Like, we have this stairwell outside my flat. People decide that that's where they want to smoke weed. And now, like...
I'd go outside.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I know it's cold, but chill, or do it in your own home.
Yeah, crack a window.
Do you know what I mean?
But, like, go outside. Have some self-respect.
Yeah. And that's fine, because then it can go away into the distance.
Yeah. Smoke in a
make my house stink.
Smoke in a corridor.
It's grey in there as well. It's really sad.
Yeah. I think that's quite disrespectful.
Thank you.
Oh, Cole's having a lovely time. Blown up yeeting.
He just said, "How much fun is this?" Which is the surefire sign of someone who's not having any fun at all.
Oh, I don't know. I think Michael Cole is having fun.
Netflix and yeet.
See, look how he's having a whale of a time.
He's probably happy that he's able to.
Oh yeah, you said that, Pat. Mike Cole, did you hear me?
Cole, you didn't reply to my joke, Cole.
Cole,
hey, Cole, I said
Netflix and yeet. You're like, chill.
Day one-ish. Wee, don't got it too early, don't got it too early, don't got it too early.
Look, we even got to see the drone.
It's supposed to go around Jay's head. There you go, that's what I'm talking about. Damage control having fun.
Yeah, having a great time. Here comes Drew McIntyre's going to go out now and ruin everyone's fun.
Maybe kicks Travis Scott's head off.
It's a hell of a belt that he's got as well.
Hardcore Championship.
Is it really?
Well, it says Hardcore Championship.
Oh, I see.
You see.
I did see. I thought it had some like duct tape on it.
Yeah, it's a personalized one he's been given.
Oh yeah.
Which allows him to walk around the ring and make faces like that and have everyone think he's hard.
Warren here said, I was thinking during Cena's speech, he goes...
speech.
He goes a similar way to Bryan Danielson. He wins the title later in the year, and on the second/third defense, he loses it, and it'd be him losing to CM Punk.
I mean, Danielson is a good comparison in terms of, like, I'm on the way out. That emotional, that victory at All In, one of the best nights of my life.
Yeah.
Sort of expected, sort of not expected. It was that well sort of told idea of it could go either way kind of thing. Either you're going to solidify Swerve as the guy who retired Bryan Danielson, or Danielson at the last gasp is going to stay for a bit longer. That you can do that well with someone who's on the way out, and with a. Not everyone's going to get to 17-time world champion, are they?
No. Certainly not in this modern era as well, where title reigns are much longer. Like Cena was able to do it because he would like win the title 4 times in a year.
Yeah, and I mean I'm also like on record and will back myself to say that I don't think inherently long title reign equals good title reign. I think you can have there's a world where you do a few chops and changes here and there, and it actually solidifies the champion. And as a main event start, like I think Cody could have see hardcore. There was a world where is he joining our commentary, or is he going to sit there?
Whee! Crikey, we are just killing time right now, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think this might be an ad break.
Is it an ad break?
I think this is an ad break.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, okay, it's the lads, apparently. I was going to say, because I was like, crikey, we are just, like, wasting time here.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to a video package of, There are a lot of ads, right? Like, even for a stream... But what I mean is, like, for a streaming show, I don't think I expected this many ad breaks in a streaming...
Well, I think that we're getting the answer to the question we had, which was, like, what will it be like? And the answer is like it was on
TV.
Yeah.
Terminal Alibi here said, let Cena win, hold a major record until a year-over-year draw beats the modern day record. Let this generation see a piece of history. Sort of did see a piece of history with Roman.
Yeah.
But I would like to see here's what I'll say.
Go on.
I'd like to see a Cena title reign I care about. That would be like the piece of history I could like buy into.
Yeah.
Or a Cena title chase that I really like care about and I want to see happen.
And there's a world where Cena wins the title. It's a really emotional moment. And then how he loses it is its own story, and who he loses it to could be momentous. Mm-hmm. You know, who is the one who take? Is it back to Cody? Is it Cody he won it from? Even like I don't know. There's a little Fatal Influence package, is it?
Or is it a advert for New Year's Evil?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Open Femi!
Interestingly, that's being billed as WWE not NXT.
Was it really?
Huh.
I didn't spot that. I think I just put my own NXT branding on it.
Well, yeah.
Fallon Henley, I feel, looks different every time I see her.
It's drag makeup.
Is that what it is?
So drag makeup is all built on doing contouring the face, obviously, because it's female illusion. Mm-hmm. You're like you're like changing the face to make it look, and that's how you do nose highlight and make the nose look thinner. And if you look close up, you can see a full white line and a dot and things like that. That then filters down into makeup, and you got people like Kim Kardashian who starts using drag makeup influence on her everyday look, and she'll contour the ever living life out of her face, and that's now bled into just makeup. And so Fallon Henley's face looks a different shape every single time because it's made up in a different way every single time. If you go back and watch that, you'll see a lot of highlight on that nose, which makes that nose look thinner.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Why make them wear these stupid ref cams if they're only going to give us that? Do you know what I'm
saying? Yeah, we didn't get the one from the spike.
Yeah, that would have been a great shot.
I only feel it's like because I see Fallon Henley a lot, and I'm like, she just does not look like her render in 2K24.
She certainly does not. And I think there's something about the aesthetic. So I think there's a lot when I watch NXT, especially because I saw a picture. I don't know who they were with over the festive period. A bunch of the NXT girls with someone, and I just was looking at them, and I was like, "You're all different versions of the same girl. There's no individuality to it." It's less so when they're in character. Do you know what I mean? But like, especially the sort of level up girls, the sort of North American title scene.
Yeah.
When they're backstage having a fight in the locker room and they're like standing and talking or whatever, they all kind of have a similar vibe. And I think you can't say that of like when you have like your Alexa Bliss, your Iconics, your Bianca, your etc.
Yeah.
I don't want to always point to the horsewomen.
It's my boy Drew. Drew McIntyre, I really do think, is one of the sexiest men.
Oh, he's incredibly sexy, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious, because when he first popped up, he looked like an absolute drip.
Bryn here says, Luke, I hope now after Ollie has lost the title, he will man up and give you that £10 plus interest. Curious to know who at WrestleTalk is the most jam that champion.
Me. I won it longest.
I think I've held it the most.
Yeah, but it's not the
it's not the amount of times you hold it, is it?
Yeah.
I mean, it just means if I've held it 5 times, it means I've lost it 4 times.
There you go.
When we were kids, getting into wrestling, that was my mate's always thing about Ric Flair.
Oh!
Because it was like, who's the 16-time world champion? It's like, yeah, it means he's lost it 16 times.
Yeah.
That makes him seem like a massive loser.
So we went hot right out of the gate, Jay going for a big dive on the outside. Didn't work. Drew has done a big old lovely big flip.
Lovely job. I like to start off at a quick pace, which I think it needed.
Mm. Well, especially because the other 2 matches that we've had so far on the show.
Oh, great work, Drew.
Have had that like big sort of like introduction, whatever,
yeah.
and feeling out big time feel. This one needed it. We needed a TV match. I'd have whacked an extra one in here somewhere. Maybe the women's. Well, that would have been another one, the Intercontinental title. But you need something for next week.
Yeah,
maybe I would have put in Chad and Penta.
That's it. Yeah, that's what I'm surprised at. Like I thought they might do like a surprise 5th match in there where that is the debut of Penta or something like that. But it is just the 4 matches that they advertised across we're going to presume 3 hours. Right. We're now into hour 2.
Yeah.
We're clocking at 2:10 currently.
Oh, bang.
Like this camera angle.
Really
like
big
that.
crane.
Yeah. And we've held on it for a long time as well. I think we kind of take that for granted a little bit now because we get it so often. But you go back and watch some of those like constant camera cuts we used to get.
There's a world where this one is camera cuts and zooms.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, Drew. Did you not watch the solo match? Roman just did that spot. Yeah, I feel like this one isn't going to be getting a lot of time. Because I was almost heading into the 3rd act for it, but I think that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
I think you need this to be a good short like sprint of a match.
I will say, I do think a little bit. If you're going to be booking 3-hour shows and you're going to have all of these titles, these women's mid-cards, I've always said this, you need to use your hours wisely.
Yeah.
You need to fill the time with things. Because otherwise it does feel baggy. And there is a bagginess to this show. I've not enjoyed it.
No, I wouldn't say that. I agree with you with the bagginess, but I feel like it has achieved a lot as a show.
Yeah. I know it's on Netflix.
I'm thinking specifically Roman, Cena, Rhea winning the belt. We've got a cameo from The Undertaker, which I could, take or leave, I guess. But like certainly with the Rhea Ripley win, that's something.
Yeah.
The crowd do sound quieter though, as we are getting later on into the show. I wonder if it's a crowd that were expecting more returns and surprisements. Look at these graphics as well, where they grayed out the loser.
Yeah.
That's nice.
They were doing that at Saturday Night's Main Event.
A lovely kip up, Drew. So, according to someone here, according to Fightful and PW side of this show, is going to be running 3.5 hours.
I had heard that somewhere. And I did present it slightly. Super kick.
Kick out by Drew. Going for the splash. McIntyre gets the knees up. Spine buster. Underrated move in the world of professional wrestling.
I agree.
I love a good spine buster. You know, Double A. Robert Roode had a great one.
Batista.
Oh! That was a great set-out powerbomb. That's sometimes actually how I pick my kid up when I'm with like play fighting and stuff.
Like you're a spine buster?
No, like so on the mat and you sort of pick him up to go into the powerbomb and stuff. That is how I would pick up my 3-year-old. Oh man, she has started. We were play fighting over Christmas. She started to get some wicked like kicks in, but also she was punching and she was doing like stances. Like she was like punching, but it's like her other arm was sort of going back and stuff. I've renamed her MMA. So I keep teasing my wife here that I'm going to train her for the octagon.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Money in it.
Which my wife is very much against. I'm like, let's get him in the octagon.
Future WWE Hall of Famer.
You know, she's getting her ballet lessons, which is very adorable. This is crowd now. There's a crowd in the dueling chants in.
Whoa.
Oh, go for future shock. Jay's got him up.
Go for Samoan drop, doesn't work.
There it is. Future shock DDT. Very nice. 1, 2. Jay kicks out.
I don't love Drew doing the 3-2-1 while he's a heel.
Where's the baddie? Oh! Spear reversal there by Jay from out of nowhere. Drew's one of the guys that I'm sort of looking at of you talk about the good problem to have of too many like main event level lads of what you do at WrestleMania. He's always been my one I've got like a question mark over.
Yeah, I don't see what he's got this year.
I fantasy booked on one of the prediction shows. I can't remember which one it was now. You do Punk, Seth, and Drew as a triple threat because that ties in so nicely to what they did at Mania 40.
Yeah.
Or even you can do a fatal 4-way with Damien in there as well, like to really like all four of those elements. Yeah.
Had Drew and Punk not been such a good feud and such a decisive finish, I'd maybe be.
Yeah, I guess
interested.
Drew blocks the spear. Super kick by Jay. Uh-oh. I think it's a Claymore.
Oh!
Claymore out of nowhere. 1, 2. Jay kicks out. It feels like Drew's starting to lose his cool now. Oh, Drew, right. I feel like this might be your downfall, lad.
Okay.
Oh. So we got some great chops in the corner, though. And a headbutt. You might be in trouble here, Drew. Oh, and Jay drops down as Drew goes for the Claymore. Oh, dear, Drew.
Drew's having a little giggle at that.
Oh,
and
Drew.
now he's going to glad hands. You're making a mistake, Drew. You might be playing possum.
Oh, and he's caught him. Roll up. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Jay picks up the win. Oh, Drew. You got caught there, bud. In his own head.
Didn't love that.
Like, it's... Yeah. It was fine.
It was fine. But I've seen finer tonight.
You know what I mean? It started off, like, pretty hot. I will say, like, that the live chat does not seem to be vibing with this show a lot.
I can sort of see why. I don't think it feels like the exceptional, mind-blowing show that it felt like it had the potential to be.
Well, also, but that, like, they themselves had been pushing, you know, like WWE have been saying, like, this is going to be like a pay-per-view.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Like, it's not. I don't want people to misconstrue what you're saying as like, oh, because Fightful reported or like.
No. Like, I mean, I don't have as much time to look at reports and the takes on social media and things like that these days. So for me, it's very much been like, as a fan, looking forward to what they're going to present me and what they're saying. And I feel like I expected a sort of mind-blowing kind of show, like not mind-blowing in terms of like game-changing. It's going to be, I mean, but then again, they sort of presented it as being this like we're into a new era,
yeah.
And very much at the moment, while I did enjoy Tribal Combat, I enjoyed the women's title, I've enjoyed Cena's promo. It very much feels like welcome to the new era, same as the era a week ago. Do you know, like?
I need some direction for Gunther as well.
Well, Goldberg. Kathy Kelly.
There you go. Here's Fluffy.
Who?
There we go. Here's the New Day. We saw them get some time earlier.
It was in the ad break, so America wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah, but then don't put that segment on earlier.
It wasn't on television earlier. It was during the ad break.
But we saw it.
But America didn't.
I just put someone else in that bit. Put R-Truth in that bit. Oh, this is very nicely filmed. Oh! 2K25! 2K25! I'm AGM! So we've got this from Quite the Raven 79, probably said by Netflix. We paid $5 million and by God, we are going to pimp this out to as many companies as we can. I mean, we lose Squid Games and Stranger Things this year. Sell those ads, minions.
Terra Twins in the ad break.
Ten Ruzza here says, genuinely, how is WWE so big? It's as naff as I've ever seen it. People liking this hollow stuff is wild. Nothing actually happens, and there's no substance to any of it. It's a two-story company, and I like pomp and stuff, but I like wrestling. Baffling. I don't agree with that.
No, I don't either. I don't think this is a great example of when it's been the most compelling. I think I think we talked about this before coming down. I think it's an own goal when you have a show of this magnitude. You don't give a 5-star show; you give a 3-star show. Mm-hmm. I think people are expecting a 5-star show, and it's been underwhelming.
That's what I was going to mention this point earlier when we talked about people's reaction to the show. I'm looking at the live chat here. People don't seem to really be getting into the show too much.
Yeah.
Is that because did we set ourselves up with too many expectations? I think there is certainly some of it on the fans, but there's WWE themselves were doing a lot of bigger show. It's going to be on Netflix doing da. But is it a case of too high an expectations? It was never going to reach them.
I mean, Punk and Seth might still deliver something breathtaking, but I do think that sometimes you do want to pull out all the stops. And if you're just here for the purity of pro wrestling, when I always feel with all respect to Ten Rosa, when you say something, I like wrestling. I know what you mean when you say that, right? And what you don't like is the celebrity people in the crowd, the sort of here's Travis Scott that's going to get us news headlines tomorrow that point to WWE, that's going to raise our prices or whatever. It's just not your vibe.
Yeah. I would say I don't think this has been a bad show.
No, that's what I mean. I think they've delivered a solid 3-star.
Yeah.
Which, for the debut on Netflix that they made such a big deal out of, and I've seen adverts all over the city for.
Yeah, and I think not just the debut on Netflix, but the start of the road to the WrestleMania. We're on the road to the Royal Rumble.
I think there are moments where, for instance, a Raw after WrestleMania, if it underdelivers, there's an argument that we've built that to be something, and then they lent into it, whatever. This show, I think they have built to be a big blockbuster 5-star show, and they've not delivered that. So I can understand people feeling underwhelmed by that.
Yeah, but to your point you made earlier, and I think it's worth remembering, we do have one more match to go.
Yeah,
and it is a very hyped matchup in Punk and Rollins. So we could have a real killer angle to end off this show that will be like that, and it'll be a case of that's how you leave them, folks, and that's all people will remember as the ending angle.
Yeah. God, I wish I could go to this.
So this I've worked out over the Christmas period. WrestleMania is on Easter weekend. My mother is devastated because it means I can't go to her house for Easter.
Oh,
and she is.
Do you do Easter things?
My mum does.
Oh.
And she was legit upset when I was like, "Oh, I can't come for Easter this year."
Aw, that is a shame.
She was like, "Why?" And I was like, "WrestleMania."
Sorry, mate. Well, also, I have a week off during the usual WrestleMania week. And it's one of my favorite cities in the world, Vegas. I love Vegas. I'd have loved to have gone to WrestleMania in Vegas. 2 weeks later.
Anonymous, actually, the counter argument to that. Great show so far. Seeing the Tribal Chief chapter end and to see a childhood hero of mine have time to take it in for a bit and acknowledge us. It's just getting started, guys. 2025 is going to be wild. P.S. The Rock will get his TV time in. LOL.
Who's this chap?
Hey, Stephen Amell. Braun Breaker. The new WWE Women's Champion.
Oh.
Nikki. Bree's not allowed there.
She's on The Traitors US.
Yes, she is.
With Bob the Drag Queen, one of my favorites. I'm going to watch the shit out of that program. Oh, God. Okay, so...
Oh, yeah, I forgot that Hogan was on the show. I was about to say, Iron Jimmy's here as well. I was about to say, we're going to get into the main event soon.
Yeah. God, he can't move a muscle, can he? There's the social media kids back there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, brother. And if you draw money, you'll always be brought back.
Yeah. Jam that jam.
A mixed reaction for Hogan?
Sounded like a little booze, but I can't tell if that's just people. Sometimes chants sound different.
Yeah. Or are you saying Boogan?
I was saying Boogan. Just talk, Hulk.
Oh yeah, that's heavily boozed now.
Yeah, I can see a couple there. Physical.
Oops.
Booze. Thick and thin. It's just that some of your thicks and some of your thins are, Oh, it's coming to do a hashtag spawn.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right. So in the meantime, I'd like to talk to you about television. So this is kind of pointing to the thing about. Do you want to listen to what Hulk has to say, or can I go off on one?
I just want to make sure he's not going to announce himself as in the Royal Rumble or anything. Or is it just? Oh, dearie me, lads, this is... They can't acknowledge it either. It's a sponsor. Can't acknowledge that the crowd were not into it.
They get a lot of money and they put them on telly, like Woo Energy.
Exactly, it's exactly like Woo Energy.
Yeah.
Deary me. That was yeah, not great.
Much better.
Anyway, next week.
Moving graphics.
Who have you got for this?
I would like to see Lyra. I think Lyra represents what that belt should be, but then again, Dakota's never really had a A push in her own right.
Sheamus and Kaiser next week as well.
Oh, that's cute.
I love these match graphics. These match graphics rule. The close-up ones were great. Those far-away ones are rad. Oh, and it's a surprise. Crikey, this has got to end as well. This has to be the end of it.
I feel like that will be a better Raw.
Well, we've got Punk and Rollins.
Yeah, we do. We
got Roman and Solo earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like 5 hours ago.
WWE!
Hey, it's Steph. Right, while these entries are going on, because I've probably got a good 10 minutes out of this. But yeah, so Anonymous is big on this show. They are a fan of this, and It's Grant says, "Hey Luke, miss you, Dan. Happy to see you again.
You.
Since the iconic duo is back, I have to ask, what kind of Indian curry would you rate each match that has happened so far? Also, what Paw Patrol characters do each of the D-Riders represent? Love you lots." Well, it's tough because the D-Riders are...
I would say that... What's the D? Is that the death?
Yeah. Well, because YouTube, if you write death in a YouTube description, so we call them the D-Riders, which I don't think has any other connotation. So it's I think it's perfectly acceptable.
Oh my God. It's 3 in the morning. It's a minute. Oh, a lovely coat.
Well, here's the thing: is that I don't think you can put Paw Patrol characters, the live and loud, onto the D-Riders, because the D-Riders are all baddies, whereas the Paw Patrol are just looking to save Adventure Bay. You would say, John Moxley's the leader, that'd be Chase, but I don't think John Moxley's on the case. I'd say that Claudio's probably rubble, but I wouldn't say that Claudio's there on the double. Wheelie Utah's probably... Oh, well, Marshall, obviously, I would say. Yeah, he's definitely Marshall. Wheeler's definitely Marshall. Just his Pac. He'd have to be the moody one. Who's the moodiest of the Paw Patrol?
Me.
They don't have a dark and brooding member of the Paw Patrol, unfortunately.
Yeah, it doesn't seem fitting with the vibe of the show.
Colby here said, with Tiffany and Rhea as new champs, how do you see the women's title matches playing out for Mania? I think Tiffany, we're still going to stay within this Nia Jax Candice storyline. I think we can probably carry that through until Mania.
Yeah.
I think on the Raw side of things, though, Rhea and Io, you could run Rhea and Becky back from Mania last year.
If Bayley's moved over, there's another
Bayley's moved over.
There.
For me,
hey, Liv gets a rematch clause.
Don't start on that. I'm pretty sure we got rid of the antiquated rematch clause many moons ago. I think they've brought it back a couple of times, but I don't think but only when it needs it. Yeah. We're done with Rhea and Liv, so I'm trying to make it happen. As I said earlier, prayer circle. I want it to be Rhea and Io.
Yeah, I mean
that's the match.
I would like to see it. I'm not going to say no.
Ten Rosa here said, the only thing that will pop me is Austin. The show is VKM's dream show. Little to no wrestling and all celebrity BS and pomp. Hunter is Vince in so many ways creatively that people don't want to admit. Also, guys, enjoy Monet as your British champion. Good stuff. I like all the negative side of things, though I very much appreciate Ten Rosa getting in touch because we know how wonderful you are as a human being. But yeah, our new undisputed British women's champion is Mercedes Moné.
So it is.
I mean, I don't think she's going to be going to do the Southampton shows or anything like that. But,
coward.
But she'll certainly do something in York Hall.
You would think.
She would certainly do some York Hall shows.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see her and Nina, her getting in with the Cutthroat Collective, I think would be awesome. I'd like to see her and Lizzie. Her and Rio, I think would be awesome. That'd be really, really good. Her and Nightshade, I think would be awesome. Yeah, there's a really good Kanji. Is another one I'd really like to see. I don't think she's going to have it for particularly long. Maybe she'll hold it up until like the anniversary show,
Copper box.
do the if they do run the copper box again next year or this year, maybe she drops the belt there. But I certainly think she'll do 1 or 2 Your Call shows. I don't think she's making the trip to Bethnal Green. Colin here said, I feel like there's catering to the new fans coming in. It feels like they're just explaining everything throughout instead of bringing new things in or surprises, catching new people up. If that is the case, though, I don't think... Bearing in mind this is a 3.5 hour show, or, currently is running at 2.5 hours, right? 2 hours 35. Mm-hmm. Is this going to bring in, is a new audience going to stick around?
Yeah.
For, when there's been a lot of waiting around for things.
This is what I mean by your 3 hours need to be used smartly. And I think one of the things that when you go back and watch old WWE or you think about TV in general is plots that sustain you through the whole thing. I firmly believe that WWE should be written like any TV show, which is to say that you have an A plot, a B plot, and a C plot. So in your A plot, you've got your champion. In this case, it's Gunther, but you could say in this case, it's Rollins and Punk or whatever. They have a story that kicks me the whole show.
Yeah.
It's different when you're building a show like this that feels like a pay-per-view and it feels like blowing off feuds like the tribal combat, whatever. But if you're an average show, your champion or your biggest star should have a through line for the whole show. Then you have a couple of B plots here and there, and then you have a bunch of different C plots, and those are your matches where... And a great C plot example in this show would have been Chad Gable being given a Penta match in this show, and it being unexpected, it's a big debut, whatever. The B plot would be you live and Rhea, and then hang on, there's a surprise. We're getting a different.
Now we're going into an ad break.
I think you want those kind of what Triple H does instead is allow you the opportunity to go and get coffee, to go to get bathroom breaks, whatever, rather than having the match be the bathroom break. It's very much like here's the thing that you're here to see. Here's a bunch of stuff to tide you over. Here's the next thing you're here to see. Here's a bunch of stuff to tide you over.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that I think he does well. I think one of the things he needs to improve on, certainly from my perspective, is to give me a reason to keep watching for the whole show rather than watch the highlights on YouTube tomorrow.
Yeah. So maybe this is anecdotal evidence, but it's something that I've been thinking about a lot over the Christmas period, just because my family and I have been talking about this, like my brother and my partner and things like that, my wife. There's been a consistent theme in comments I've had on cutscene videos, and each of the videos that I would say that have been posted up as well, and it is from different users. Like Cutscene, if you're not aware, it's a movie channel that I do. I post half an hour video essays about the making of movies, some movie stories and stuff, behind the scenes movie stuff, and it's a video essay channel. There is always a consistent comment that is left on every video by different users, which is, why is this video half an hour long when it's 30 seconds worth of why couldn't you have just given this to me in 30 seconds? And that is the changing of attitudes that we have got into how we consume content. Is half an hour. It's whoa, I haven't got time for half an hour, but can you just give it to me in a bite-sized chunk? So I didn't bring that up because you're asking about, we're bringing in new viewers to this. Are they going to be engaged enough for 3.5 hours with lots of waiting around for things when you have got a generation who just need quick, snappy? It's the Amazon algorithm thing. You have to start your movies with an action scene, otherwise you lose people in the first 3 minutes. It's a weirdly formatted show in that sense of if you're trying to bring in new viewers who are maybe not have the attention span for a 3.5 hour show where only 4 things happen.
Yeah. And it is different habits. It's a fascinating time to be a person who makes media. Because there's also a world where people don't like short videos. They like hour-long videos, or they want movies that are a really long time so they feel like they're getting their money's worth when they go to the cinema or something like that. But there's also then people being like, I'm not going to take a trip to go and see a 3-hour movie. Why can't that? What happened to your 90-minute mid-budget thing? And there's definitely sort of brain rot, our attention spans because we have so many things constantly demanding our attention from elsewhere, including on this show, where it's hey, here's this and here's this and here's this and here's this. It can be exhausting.
In terms of YouTube and stuff, with YouTube Shorts, the statistics say that the most optimal time for a YouTube Short...
Sorry, just quickly, this is CM Punk's first match on Raw since 2011.
Is it really?
He's not had a match on Raw.
Oh, wow.
Apparently. As you were.
Wow. That's nuts. Is that right? He left in 2014.
Well, maybe he wouldn't have a match. Champion.
Is that right? That seems wild. Okay, apparently that should say 2014.
Okay.
But yeah, so the optimum length for a YouTube short is 12 seconds. Because the YouTube short algorithm works is that it has to have 120% watch time with a 86% swipe rate. So...
God, miss me with that. Sorry. What happened to art? Where's the soul? Where's the poetry?
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
12 seconds.
Swipe rate. Fuck off.
But 12 seconds. Like, what are you doing in 12 seconds that's actually worth doing?
Yeah. That makes me an old man, and I apologize for the people who really enjoy that. And there are people who make that their living, but also, where's the soul? I'll tell you where the soul is. This promo last week, 11 minutes where I couldn't turn my eyes off it.
That
and every ounce of it, where it was like full of truths and half truths, and they were completely honest, but there was also lies within what they were saying.
Yeah,
like it was
both getting to each other,
and both being right and both being wrong at the same time.
What I loved, it was not even just them getting to each other; it's both them being gotten to.
Yeah,
and letting themselves be got to a little bit. There we go. You can hear this crowd. See, this crowd are excited for this. They're really in for this match. And that's been the great storytelling they've done for it. That promo segment in particular last week was so good. I feel like maybe that's something that this show has missed, is like that big story.
That's what I mean, like your A-plot kind of thing going through the whole show. Could you have had...
Oh, Punk. Here we go. Here goes the Rollins dive. Great dive into Punk as well.
Into all the Netflix execs in the front row.
That was awesome. This is it. Come on, guys.
And if we are to believe that it's a long show, we've got 45 minutes or so.
Let it ride.
Well, Seth was sort of saying, like, nobody here wants to see a disqualification.
Yeah.
We all want to see this go a bit wild.
Yeah. This is great.
And that was something they always said in the Attitude Era, wasn't it? It was like, well, the referee is sort of using his discretion here for this extended period where they're brawling up the ramp.
Because Austin used to brawl through the crowd for 80% of his match. The old walk and brawl. We have a poll up as well for Mod Mother. Sorry, we didn't get one done for the Drew and Jay match, but let's have a poll up for who we think is going to win this one. I think I had CM Punk down to be my victor here. What say you?
I would like to see CM Punk win this one. I think we want to send him on a real run over the next few months.
Mm-hmm. Particularly if you are going to be doing Punk and Reigns.
With no disrespect to Seth, there's an awful lot I've seen from Seth, and an awful lot still on the table from Punk, and I'd like to see that get done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Duck of the Stomp. That was great. Up for the GTS.
Punk had sort of slid into the ring. He sort of gave one look to the announce table, slid into the ring where Seth was waiting for a stomp, but managed to avoid it. Oh, and Seth's just battering him in the head.
Great. Get on him.
See, because what's the funny thing about that? Maybe I'm misremembering, but I remember the Colt Cabana, and I remember
all the stuff he did in AEW as well.
Yeah, But in the other intervening years, I don't think he said much. I think we chanted his name far more.
There was, like, because I think it's like any interview he did, it would get brought up.
I guess I just thought he went away.
You know, he did tell The Miz to go suck a blood money covered dick.
But like, wasn't that during AEW?
No.
That was just outside?
Yeah.
Oh. Then I am misremembering. I thought that was just another wrinkle where it was like...
But in fairness, I would say that Punk hated all wrestling.
Right.
Oh, what a beautiful big boot by CM Punk. Added that to the move set.
Naughty. I'm on his side, to be honest.
Come at me, Phil.
Now, at least he's consistent about that. He's been saying that for years.
God, Pepsi plunge.
I hate this shit. Be careful, the pair.
Swinging neck breaker. It's perhaps wishful thinking for Pepsi plunge there. As we roll into an ad break. I'm going to read out some of your Omega chats. Bad Niner Finn Niners 27 said, maybe it's blindness, but I've been following through WrestleTalk, all the Raw reviews, and watched most pay-per-views. Has it always had this level of plugging on Raw and SmackDown? WWE promised a lot. This ain't delivering for me. Not hating, just confused, really.
But I think this is the thing that is frustrating when you get a comment like this, which is to say, no. Like, if you were to watch this show, this match is doing it for me. But prior to this, even with an entertaining tribal combat match and, you know, perfectly fine other matches, you would be within your rights. And it was the same thing when Punk came back after Survivor Series and with other examples we've had where you might have gone, oh, this is the thing that you're saying is really good now. This, I wouldn't argue, is not as representative of WWE at its best over the past year, which on many occasions it absolutely has been.
Agreed.
So your comment is correct, but it's also incorrect at the same time. And it's hard for people like us to be able to really address it.
Well, that's it, yeah. And like, you know, thank you to the Fridge GC who's donated with no message, but God not Hulk Hogan has said, watching this show 2.5 hours in, my only real thought is I don't like WWE anymore. And that's what I find that as a frustrating one, because it's just one show.
Yeah.
Like it's been a lot of really good stuff. I think Raw has been a 3 out of 5 show for a lot of the second half of 2024, but it's still been a good show. And I think the pay-per-views for the most part have really delivered. We've got some really good stuff. I really enjoy some of the stuff we got at Saturday Night's main event. And there's always those moments like we had with the promo segment with Punk and Rollins last week, where it's like, this is why this is the hottest pro wrestling company right now. This is why this is the hottest the company has been in for so long. It's because we've got all these big name stars. But when you have a show that it is maybe not meeting expectations, I find it frustrating then. The reaction to that is, oh, I just don't like it anymore then.
Because, also because the internet deals in extremes. It doesn't deal in like for me, it's one of those things where, that episode I can miss it, or that one didn't hit, I'll now go about my day. It needs to be an either this is something I love or this is something I simply don't like WWE anymore. I don't know what to do with that.
Tyrio Marcus said, I think part of the problem is that I was expecting to have a rough idea of what Mania would look like. No idea if Rock's going to wrestle, no surprise returns with Impact for now, etc. Anonymous says, a problem I have has always been some people only having matches on pay-per-views. Punk is having his first match on Raw in ages, yet he's been back for over a year. Feels unfair to the rest of the roster. If Cena's going to win a title, he needs to be a proper active talent.
I think this is what I mean by having your A plot, your B plot, your C plot. One of the things that frustrates me is when it's like, I've come out for my segment and now I'll go home. I used to like it when it would be, we're going to do backstage stuff throughout the show. Austin has something to deal with throughout the show. The McMahon-Helmsley regime are dealing with things throughout the show. And that's why, not to say that they have to be all over the show, but it's a 3-hour-long show.
Back from ad break.
I couldn't remember which one was which. You want a thread to keep you active that makes you feel... You don't have to be wrestling on the show to feel like an active part of the narrative. And yeah, maybe now and again you do have a match on the show. Cody wrestling on SmackDown always feels like a big deal.
I don't think you need to have everyone wrestling on every show.
No, but now and again.
I think it makes it feel like a bigger deal when they do it. Like it feels like a big deal that Punk is having a match on Raw.
But should they have moments where... Is it enough for like last week, it was enough for them to have a segment. Yes. Elsewhere, maybe a bit here and there.
We'll get to the rest of your Ultra Chats and we get into our next best moments to do that, as we're now focusing back on the action.
God, they're just being like petty with each other, aren't they? Like he's just hitting in the head.
Look at that.
Just have a kiss and get it over with.
Fixes a lot of wrestling feuds.
Oh!
Running knee in the corner by Punk.
Seth kind of been getting in Punk's face.
Mm-hmm.
Meets a knee.
And there's a second one by CM Punk. And stops the Bulldog. Punk fires back with a clothesline double axe handle. Swinging neck breaker. And now he's signaling the GTS. No, but Rollins is on the apron.
Got a poll result.
We have got the poll result. It is Punk with 79% of the vote to get the win here. Oh, neck breaker over the top rope.
That didn't look nice.
Oh, Punk slingshotting himself over. I thought he was going to catch his feet there.
It did look like he might.
Polite applause there from the front row. Is that Kieran Culkin?
Golden Globe Award winner.
Because like Macaulay got a shot.
Yeah.
Not Kieran though. No one likes Fuller apparently. Rollins rolls it through. He saw it coming. Oh, send him for GTS. Oh! But Punk rolls to the outside.
Rolling to the outside.
Oh. That's it. It's less of the ring IQ to get out of the ring. It's just like, I'm going to let my momentum take me out.
Yeah.
Or really, it's more of a case of the momentum just took him out. That's what Cole just said.
The crowd singing his song. Seth selling the knee.
Oh. Look at these disrespectful kicks to the head. And a stop by CM Punk!
But he's able to get a cover.
1, 2. Rollins kicks out. Great, because that plays back into the spot they did earlier in the night as well. Earlier in the match.
Yeah, lovely.
I also think
these two are quite smart, you know.
I think it is interesting there that Rollins did this whole, I built this place is here because of me. And Pat McAfee saying that's not entirely true. Because that is almost a setup for some delusional heel stuff. Setting him up for a GTS. Rollins catches. Is he going to go for a second one of his own? And he does! He hits the second one, but this time he gets the pin. 1, 2. Punk kicks out. Someone pointed out there's like, Pat is the heel, which he is, but then Cole should be, as the voice of reason, as the babyface voice, to say, no, what he's saying is correct.
Yeah. Going for a stomp.
Oh! Punk barely got out of the way of that one. Rolls to the outside.
Rollins goes out to join him. here on this new reinforced announcement
We're going to find out how reinforced it is when Seth Rollins hits a bloody pedigree.
Powerbomb, it looks like. Oh! There you go.
Pedigree.
Yeah, it's pretty sturdy.
It's pretty sturdy.
It's pretty sturdy.
Oh, Rollins with the knee. Back into the ring. Again. Go for another pedigree, maybe. Second pedigree. Slow to roll him over. 1, 2.
Triple H buried. He's backstage fuming. He's just broken one of his bracelets. That move used to mean something.
Feels like it's a direct shot at a Triple H, actually.
So it's the pedigree and the Canadian Destroyer. Those are the two moves that don't mean anything anymore.
This has been a really good match.
Yeah. It's been good psychology.
Yeah.
Which, like, obviously, because look who's in the ring.
I love that the crowd is still split for them as well. And now we've got fluffy hair Phil too.
Because it definitely felt like Rollins was the objective sort of heel between these two. But the fact that there's a little bit of... I think that's what it is. I love the fact that it's all shades of grey, and that's what Triple H was talking about at the start in that in that promo. Whoa! Close fist!
Also feels like Punk's been watching some Wrestle Kingdom over the weekend as well. He's like, I want my New Japan spot. Oh, lovely rolling elbow. High kick by Punk.
Going for another knee.
Another knee in the corner.
Oh! Caught!
But Rollins caught him. Buckle bomb, maybe. Buckle bomb. Set him up nicely for the stomp here. And he got him as well. Stomped his head into the earth. Don't roll him that way, Rollins. What were you thinking? What were you thinking, Seth?
Maybe he wasn't. He took a few hard shots to the face and the head.
Come on, Seth. You know better than that. It's a hell of a stomp as well.
I think this is rather good, yeah.
I think this is very good. Easy, like, match of the night.
Yeah. I'm just going to say this. Bunch of empty seats there at the front. That's for the sort of Netflix corporate ones.
Yeah.
That pisses me off as much as the Saudi ones did. Do you remember that first week when they're all off?
Mm-hmm.
Gets on my nerves. Put them in a skybox. Rich people, man.
Rollins got Punk up.
God, look at that crowd. What nice hard right sends Seth to the middle of the ring. Punk having a little sit down.
Catch his breath. It feels like Rollins is starting to lose his composure a little bit.
Sething up.
Up. Falcon Arrow, maybe. Superplex, roll through. Falcon Arrow. Oh, no, he's up. He's got him up. GTS.
Middle of the ring.
GTS. And he's rolled around and fallen into a second one.
Has he got the strength to do it, though?
And he lift him up. A second GTS.
In a row.
Surely that's it. 1, 2, 3. Punk has won.
Very nice.
That's a wacky old way to fall into that second one, but I don't mind it.
I
kind of like it.
It was wacky. You're right.
Yeah. But wacky's not always bad. That was a very good match. Really enjoyed that.
It was a brawl at times.
Yep.
It was tense. It was about whose move was better.
Mm-hmm. Who could like almost survive the match?
Yeah.
A cut under the eye as well of Seth Rollins. Or cut across the face, maybe, looks like.
Oh, it does, yeah.
And that is going to be the end of it because we got the credits up.
It's like they're in a war, like a fight. There you go.
And there you go. That's the end of the first show on Netflix. Here's my big hot take, Dan.
You're most welcome.
Here's my big searing hot take.
Please.
It did not need to be 3.5 hours.
Or 3. Agreed? Yeah.
Did not need to be 3 hours.
Nice tight 3 hours. I agree.
Tight as
Well, it was baggy insofar as it's now 3 minutes past 4.
Yeah, I think that was a 2-hour show.
Yes.
Maybe I would say that was a 2-hour show.
Yeah,
with an hour of faff.
Yeah,
but that hour of faff was at least spread out across the 3 hours.
Yeah, and I think looking at the ring work, we had a nice solid opener that was enjoyable. 2 matches that were fine. I think the women's match was a nice 3. I think for me, Drew and Jay was slap bang in the middle. And then I really enjoyed that last one.
Me too.
Do I think that took it to like a wow, breathtaking? Don't know.
So, Mod Mother, you read my mind. I was just about to ask, can we have a poll to get some thoughts from the audience?
Yeah.
Bryn here says, hey guys, now that Saudi are getting the Rumble next year, do you think that London will be getting WrestleMania at Wembley and the Hall of Fame at the O2?
I don't see WrestleMania happening at... Well, I mean, if they did it in Philly, it was freezing there.
Mm-hmm.
It just does get cold.
Yeah.
It does get cold.
I feel that if they really wanted to... they want to do it at Wembley, and it's Wembley or nothing for WWE because they want to break the record that AEW set. So it has to be Wembley. Mm. But also, I felt like they wouldn't have been as serious. If they were more serious, they'd have brought a bigger belt for Sadiq Khan to hold.
It was a titchy little one.
One of the funniest things I've ever seen. Micah here said, WWE has taken the boxing approach of long stalls, exaggerated entrances, and the post-fight interview. I don't think, as fans, we should expect WWE to be different off the bat, especially while what they have done has made them so financially successful.
Yeah. That's the boxing example I brought right now.
Pogo was here, said, to be honest, the only match I'm here for is Seth versus Punk and maybe seeing Penta. I've not cared about the bloodline since Mania, and Rhea versus Liv has been dead for a long time.
I think that's it.
That's a good point.
I think not so much the bloodline one because I have enjoyed this sort of like OTC versus solo thing. I think it was nice to finish it off here. I think the Rhea and Liv feud very much was done a while ago. And I think if there was something else going on, maybe if it was the Intercontinental Championship crowning, maybe if it was the Penta match here, I don't know, you need to save something for next week. Maybe that would have made it feel a bit different. I wonder if it's one of those like rivalry is stale extravaganzas.
Ten Rosa has said, apologies for the negativity, but the company that deals with Logan Paul, Hogan, Saudi, and that is very basic creative that doesn't light the world on fire, but is not just by Vince. I just don't get it. I want to like WWE, but they make it impossible. Adam says Luke is right. It is just one show, but this is the show. Yeah. This was the show to not only bring back old fans, but bringing a ton of new fans, and to put on a show that is largely just fine is not the right thing to do.
I think that's it.
Tennessee Tornado said, not sure if they meant it or not, but the image WWE went for tonight was blunt smoking, The Rock drinking and driving, and Hogan. Me and families are clearly not their demo anymore. Brandon Will Win said, what's more likely, AJ and Becky making appearances tonight or Penta making an appearance tonight? Love you guys. It turns out none of those three. There were no returns, no debuts, no surprises. Ryan here says, do you think the crowd has had a negative impact on the show? If it was an international show in UK or France, etc., would people have been viewing the show as badly as they are? For me, the matches have been good. It's just been a drag in between.
I mean, in fairness, we have had the sound to a reasonable level where we can't necessarily hear as much. The crowd didn't seem too bad for me, and I don't think for me the fact that the crowd we couldn't hear that much was negligible because ultimately the material was what was letting it down.
Yeah, I'd say so, because I think the crowd were noticeably quiet during the Drew Jay match, which is wild when you can see how over Jay's entrance is, but they were like quiet.
And I think if you look at
match,
the sort of SmackDowns in France, the SmackDowns in Germany and things like that, those shows have been good shows elevated by the crowd rather than mid shows where the crowd has covered both cracks, I would say.
That's what I said about Backlash.
Yeah.
Backlash was a good show, elevated by an incredibly great crowd. And God Not Hulk Hogan has said, for a little context, I don't watch WWE often, maybe the odd match when I hear good things, but I haven't watched a WWE show live since the Raw after Mania 39. Thought I'd try it out since it's on Netflix, and I just haven't been hooked by anything.
Which is valid.
It is, yeah. Brandon Wilwin says, go to the YouTube feed. Are they doing a big angle on the YouTube feed? If they so, that'd be really hilarious.
In the meantime, while you're doing that, I'll read Weasley, who says, I'm glad they pushed the IC title match and Penta's most likely debut next week. Would have felt lost in the shuffle on the show. That's the thing. At the end of the day, there are more things.
I wager that there's not a big angle because
no one's nattering about it in the chat. But yeah, to God Not Hulk Hogan's point about thought I'd try it out since I haven't been on Netflix and I haven't been hooked by anything. Valid. That's a perfectly valid response. I think there's another thing where it's
just a chat.
Chatting.
See what I mean by it looks like a stop sign?
Yeah, it does. It really does. CM Punk, John Cena, final two in the Rumble. That's where you get your CM Punk, John Cena moment.
Yeah.
In your soul.
Right. So thank you, Brandon. We've gone to the YouTube feed. Weasley said, I'm glad they pushed the IC match and Penta's... Oh, you just did that one?
Yeah.
Sorry, did I...
You were getting YouTube.
Oh, sorry, I do apologize. Sorry, Weasley, I missed your chat there. But yeah, I actually agree. I think they would have...
And it kind of ties into the one
that
Brandon was saying about not necessarily feeling this week's show. Sorry, I was just seeing Paul was going to do anything else. It's like, this is now a weekly show. Of
course, yeah.
And if you happen to... I'd say I'd drop back in on your average Raw and you might see some gold. But if not, as long as I get you for the pay-per-views...
Well, okay, this is my job, right? This is my job to watch these shows. I would say as a fan, if I'd watched this show just casually, just watch this show, and it was over 3 hours, and I was like, because it's quite baggy, I think I wouldn't watch it live.
Yeah.
And I would then watch the replay and do a lot of skipping.
That is...
Or I would just go to the YouTube channel the day after and watch the highlights.
Speaking now as someone who does that more often than not, because of what I've got to do of the week, I'll seek out things that sound great, or I'll watch the highlight package, or I'll be like, ooh, I wanted to see that on SmackDown. I wanted to see Naomi and Nia, and I wanted to see what was going to go down with that, so I watched the full thing. Glad that I did, given what went down. But yeah, elsewhere on the show...
Yeah, there were a lot
so
of
in fact, I started watching it live and then went, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think bite the hand that feeds, but sometimes in the bubble, we do deal in extremes with our feelings about things.
I'm Just Marcus said, I enjoyed the show for the most part. I feel like the need to place their ad breaks a little more carefully, and the fact that we only had 4 matches in 3 hours feels like not enough, especially when 2 of those matches were only fine. And it's going to be the end of the Ultra Chat, I think. I'm going to end this poll, see what you thought of this. Mid 45%. So actually, it's thumbs up 45%. Mid 44%.
Oof, close.
That's really close. But I mean, thumbs up is the overall winner there by 1%. But yeah. There you go. Well, there you go. That is the Raw debut on Netflix. I don't think it was as big of a show as many of us as was built. So we're going to have a full review of this on the podcast format tomorrow here on the WrestleTalk channel. And Ollie will have a review of again about sort of 7 or so minutes if you really want your bite-sized version of his thoughts on this. But he'll get his full
swipe
thoughts.
Ratio or whatever it's called.
That'll be here on the WrestleTalk channel tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to give a wonderful applause to our moderators as well, because thank you, mods. We can't do this show without you, but we also can't do this show without you. I've had a lot of tag team partners over the year, brother, but the best tag partner I've ever had was you, the viewer. And Netflix, of course, by the beer. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Nico and DAD. That has been Dan Layton. It was wonderful having him back.
Thanks very much.
Jam that jam.